What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 10 id. Chapter 236 Kaido is defeated. Dutiful daughter Yamato protects her father. Open black lens bracket please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Thunder 8 trigrams. Click. A stick was swung. Thunder exploded in the sky and the earth. There's lightning bolt, wherever the black mace passed. The terrifying force pressed the atmosphere so much that it rippled and then exploded. This shows how powerful Kaido's attack is. However, faced with Kaido's world-beating attack, Golden Lion Shiki still just raised his right leg normally. The famous sword Sakuraju has lightning-like brushed blooms on its blade. That's Conqueror's Haki's entanglement. Kang. Boom. 073. Rumble. Rumble. The Golden Lion Shiki and the Dragon Man form Kaido of the Beasts pass each other. The land of Ghost Island rumbled loudly. A bottomless ravine emerged silently. For a long time, the shaking of the island gradually stopped. Snap. Kaido of the Beasts' huge body suddenly shook, and then he knelt down on one knee weakly. In front of him, a ferocious knife mark appeared again. You can even vaguely see the beating of internal organs through the wound. This kind of thing. How? I failed again. Kaido of the Beasts fell to his knees helplessly. He looked at the broken mace in his hand in disbelief. Since the Battle of the Valley of the Gods 17 years ago. Ever since I got the ability of the magical beast Qinglong in the hands of Charlotte Linlin. Ever since escaping from the damn Vegapunk Institute. He had sworn an oath. Never be as cowardly as before in the future. You must live like a human being from now on. He is no longer the intern brother that everyone can bully. But to become the strongest creature that makes the world fear and tremble. No one can shit on his head anymore and ask him for paper. With the invincible power of the Azure Dragon, he should have lived such a life. However, but what is this now? Once again he is dominated by a man named Golden Lion. He thought he could easily suppress and kill Golden Lion instantly, but in the end he was taught a hard lesson by reality once again. He lost. Failed again. Defeated cleanly. Complete defeat. In front of the legendary pirate named Golden Lion. The strongest biological ability he relied on actually had no power to fight back. This kind of thing. No. Impossible, absolutely impossible. Kaido seemed to have thought of something. The godless eyes suddenly burst out with astonishing energy. He suddenly turned his head, his big copper bell-like eyes unblinking, staring at the man in front of him. What's wrong, boy Kaido, you are finally convinced now. Golden Lion Shiki smiled teasingly. No. You're not Golden Lion Shiki. Who the hell are you? Kaido asked loudly. Mr. Kaido, Captain Kaido, what are you doing? That man is undoubtedly the Golden Lion Shiki. Yes, both appearance and ability match them all. The pirates of the Beast Corps shouted. It's over, it's over. Kaido was beaten to the point of losing his mind and going crazy. It seems that we can pack up and pay homage and branch house as soon as possible. Brachiosaurus Quinn shook his head. No, the Golden Lion Shiki I know can't be this big. Who the hell are you? Kaido of the Beasts remained stubborn. Hum. Golden Lion sneered. Snapped. There was a clear snap of fingers. The earth surges. Several lion-headed tentacles rushed up. Biting Kaido's limbs, it was like fixing him on the execution platform. You're just a kid who hasn't even mastered Conqueror's entanglement. Is it really difficult to defeat you? Don't think too highly of yourself, kid. Golden Lion Shiki shouted. Conqueror's entanglement. No, that's not the reason. I feel it. You. A shrill scream replaced Kaido's next words. You are such a stubborn brat. In that case, let me, a 1.5-year-old senior, educate you. Golden Lion's eyes flashed coldly. Don't wait for any action. The next second, Thunder 8 trigrams. A childish shout came from not far away. Miss Yamato. No. A lowly girl who looked about 7 years old, but was already over 1.7 meters tall, swung the mace with difficulty and hit the Golden Lion. Don't hurt Dad. Yamato, a lowly who has not yet been poisoned by Oden, shouted loudly. Chapter 237 Accept Yamato as a disciple. Open black lens bracket please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Ghost Island Battlefield. Among all the Beast's pirates. There are times when cadres like Quinn are afraid and hesitate to move forward. The only one who heard it was a 7-year-old Lolita. Her name is Yamato, Kaido's daughter. She hasn't yet witnessed Oden's miraculous hour in the frying pan. Now she has not been poisoned by the fan named Kazuki Oden. Now she is still a brave girl who will tell the truth to protect her father. Not bad. Gia ha. He looked at the girl in front of him who was clearly about to cry, but was still stubborn. The curvature of the corners of Golden Lion Shiki's mouth gradually widened. 23 He stretched out a big hand. He picked up Yamato's collar like a chicken. Stop it, Shiki, this is our grudge. It has nothing to do with her. Kaido of the Beasts roared. A rare look of panic appeared on his face. Even as cold as Kaido. For his own daughter. Especially one who was willing to show up to protect his daughter. Of course he would not remain indifferent. Gia ha. Kid Kaido, you really gave birth to a good daughter. Golden Lion Shiki laughed. Well, how about we make a deal? Deal. Golden Lion, what exactly do you want to do when you come to my place today? Kaido drinks slow. Of course I want to help the younger generation who was once ineffective. By the way, I'm also a little interested in this Wano-kuni. Golden Lion Shiki smiled and stretched out an inviting hand. Kaido, take your team and become my right-hand man. What did you say? Kaido's eyes widened and his voice rose 18 degrees. Let me and the Beast's pirates become your subordinates. Stop wishing. Stimulated by angry emotions, Kaido's tiger body shook and he escaped from the shackles of the Earth Lion. Gia ha 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 ha, don't jump to conclusions so quickly, Kaido boy. There is still time, you can think about it carefully. Golden Lion Shiki grinned. Besides, this cute little girl belongs to me, and I want to take her as my first wife. Hear the words. Kaido immediately became furious. Before he could express himself, he rolled his eyes and fell into deep thought. Although he is reckless, he is not a fool. Listen to Golden Lion Shiki. He also knew that there was still room for change in this matter. We haven't reached the stage where everything is really dead yet. Regardless of the matter of surrender, if you really want to seize this country, I wouldn't mind giving you a share. Kaido said solemnly. Gia ha 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 ha, you are really not straightforward at all. Golden Lion Shiki teased. Snort. Kaido snorted coldly and turned back to the skeleton hall. Master Quinn, is this the end? Captain Kaido and that Golden Lion, did they shake hands and make peace? The pirates of the Beast group looked at each other and looked at each other. Idiot, what can we do if we don't make peace? Even Kaido can't defeat that monster Golden Lion, let alone us. Brachiosaurus Quinn quietly breathed a sigh of relief, and the fat all over his body trembled. Little ones, hurry up and get the wine and food ready. Don't piss off that monster Golden Lion again. Quinn ordered immediately. Yes, the pirates of the Beast Corps are busy on their own. Gia ha 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 ha. Golden Lion smiled and turned his attention to Yamato, who had an uneasy expression on his face. Your name? Big, Yamato. Yamato's little hands twitched nervously. Do you want to be my disciple? Golden Lion Shiki asked. 663. Yamato opened his innocent eyes and shook his head subconsciously. The next second, after reacting, she quickly lowered her head uneasily and looked at her toes. But he didn't change his tune against his will. Although her father Kaido is not a good person and has nothing to do with her on weekdays, he is still her father after all. There are other people in the 100 Beasts group who are also kind to her. Compared to following the ugly old man Golden Lion, Yamato would of course prefer to stay with the Beast Club. Of course, if it is Yamato whose original plot was influenced by the samurai. If you encounter such a good thing, you will definitely not hesitate and want to run away with the bucket. Gia ha 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 ha, you girl is more courageous than your father. I am really more and more attracted to you. Golden Lion Shiki laughed. Yamato's mouth tightened, knowing that there was a high probability that he would not be able to escape. Chapter 238 Kaido of the Beasts bows his head and submits open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Ghost Island, Skeleton Hall. The Pirates, Feast of Wine and Meat resumes. A few rounds of drinks down. The stagnant atmosphere in the field is no longer there. No, although I was unhappy before, let's forget about it now. The top priority is to seize this Wano-kuni and establish a huge weapons supply industry. Kaido of the Beasts laughed. Gia ha 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 ha, it's rare for you to have this awareness. Boy Kaido, I haven't seen you in these years, but you have grown up a bit. Golden Lion Shiki nodded happily. Hehehehe, Master Golden Lion Shiki has arrived today, and we are even more powerful. We will definitely no longer have trouble capturing Wano-kuni. Kurozumi laughed in agreement. Golden Lion Shiki glanced at Kurozumi Orochi. The pressure from the strong man made the big snake fall to the ground in fright. My back was covered in cold sweat. Shiki, this guy is Kurozumi Orochi, my underling at Wano-kuni, the same clan as black-haired Higurashi and Kurozumi Cicada. Kaido explained casually. Yes, Master Shiki, Higurashi and Semimaru are my elders. I have learned about Master Shiki's glorious achievements from their mouths, and I admire you from the bottom of my heart. When I saw you today, Shiki-sama is more powerful than I imagined, and Haki is 100 times more powerful. I am really lucky to be able to meet you, Shiki-sama. Kurozumi sat down on the ground devoutly, and spat out a rainbow fart. Kurozumi is an expert when it comes to slapping rainbow farts. Golden Lion glanced indifferently and said nothing else. Hey. Brachiosaurus Quinn, who was wearing deathly black lipstick, suddenly walked up to the Golden Lion diligently. Mr. Shiki, I saw in the newspaper last year that you captured the scholars of Ohara. I wonder if there are any clues about the legendary ancient weapon now. Brachiosaurus Quinn rubbed his hands and looked at the Golden Lion eagerly. The words fell. The huge skeleton hall fell into silence. Even Kaido stopped drinking and pricked up his ears to hear Golden Lion's answer. It was the legendary ancient weapon after all. Pluto, Poseidon, and Uranus. No matter which one you get, you will have the possibility to dominate the world. The key to obtaining the ancient weapon is the historical text and its interpreter. If the Golden Lion really possesses the legendary ancient weapon, then they, Beast's pirates, will ally and cooperate with them, even if they are slightly at a disadvantage. It's not a bad idea. Kaido thought so. The next second. But I saw Golden Lion looking around the audience as if he was looking at a fool. Idiots, if Lousy has ancient weapon, why would he need to come to Wano-kuni to search for weapons? Golden Lion sneered. Everyone was stunned. Yes. That seems to be the case. If you have ancient weapon in hand. Other weapons are naturally unimportant. It seems that those scholars' mouths are a little firmer. So, Mr. Shiki, why don't you let me try it? What I am best at is torture, and I will definitely make those scholars confess everything obediently. Quinn smiled flatteringly. That's not necessary. Besides, the opportunity to obtain the ancient weapon is not only the interpreter of the historical text, but the most important thing is the historical text that records the location of the weapon. That's why I came here. Having said this, Golden Lion suddenly became silent, and the old god took a sip of wine. Kaido and Quinn looked at each other. A look of shock appeared on his face. This is a phrase that was inadvertently revealed from Golden Lion. They guessed some incredible possibilities. They speculate that the main purpose of Golden Lion coming to Wano Kuni is not for weapons and mineral resources. But this country hides a major secret related to ancient weapon. The secret must be in their hands. Only in this way can we be qualified to negotiate with Golden Lion. Kaido. Winged Dragon Jin woke up from a serious injury and was helped to the main hall by his men. Jin, you good Zhao are awake and everything is fine. This time with the Golden Lion. Kaido just wanted to ease the relationship between Jin and Golden Lion. Kaido, my injury has nothing to do with Golden Lion. It's better to say that Mr. Shiki brought me back after being seriously injured. I'm really grateful. Winged Dragon Jin solemnly thanked Golden Lion. Alas, alas. Kaido, Quinn and others were all shocked. Quickly. Kaido's expression became serious. Then who beat you like this? Jin. Kaido asked the spear. World Government CP0. Nani. Chapter 239 The Five Elders are here. Want to meet Oden's Whitebeard? Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. The border between Julie and the Flower City. Some secret hiding place. The clothes of several masked men in white robes were stained with blood. The expression under the mask was extremely gloomy. Damn it, why did tonight's actions turn out like this? That damn Lunaria, where did she escape from? I wanted to give the blood of the Pirate King as a gift to the Five Elders, but the faces of several world government CPO officials were full of unwillingness and coldness. I thought tonight's operation would be easy. But I never thought about it. In the end, it turned out that the chicken was stolen but the rice was lost, and the wife and soldiers were lost. Not only did they not catch anyone, but they also lost several combatants. What do we do next? A CPO looked at the leader of the operation. Don't wait to speak. The next second, suddenly, a burst of powerful aura descended, causing all the POS to change their expressions in horror. Such a simple action is a failure. 407, are you considered the strongest CP in our world government? An old voice sounded in the base without warning. Everyone followed the sound. Wait until you see the old man holding a knife who appears at some point. CP0 Everyone's faces under the masks changed drastically. Five Elders. Lord Five Elders. Ghost Island. The banquet atmosphere is in full swing. Not only the world government, but also Moria's Moonlight pirates are also planning to get a share of the pie. You know the details, G. No. Kaido of the Beasts laughs. Gia haha, you didn't do any research on the territory you wanted to invade. You are still as useless as ever, Kaido. Golden Lion Shiki said sarcastically. Stop blabbering, all planning is useless in the face of absolute power. Kaido said, so you have it, absolute power. Golden Lion asked back. No need to say this. Moria and Laozi can be destroyed in just a few seconds. Kaido Haki said confidently. At the end of the night, dawn comes. 9 Mile, Oden Castle. Lord Oden, are Mrs. Rouge and Little Ace really okay? Neko Viper and Anuarashi asked worriedly. It's okay. Oden waved his hand. Master Oden, what should we do with the man we caught last night? He didn't say anything. The other party is the world government. If we kill him directly. Kinemon, Denjiro and other retainers frowned. Since you don't want to say anything, then just lock him up first. You all go down first, and call Rizzo over here. Oden ordered. Not long after. Whoosh. A vague shadow flashed across the empty hall. Lord Oden, what orders do you have from me? Ninja Rizzo knelt down on one knee. Send these secret letters to the bosses Yasui, Ushimaru and Hyogoro respectively. Remember, Rizzo, it must be delivered, it is related to Wano Kuni's future. Light CDEF, Moon Oden solemnly warned. Yes, Lord Oden. Lei Zhang responded in a deep voice. He respectfully took the 3 secret letters with both hands and retreated quietly. As the next thing to do is to wait. Oden breathed out. One heartstring is getting tighter and tighter. After all, this is a huge event concerning Wano Kuni's life and death. If it were based on Oden's past temperament, he must have been reckless long ago. But this time he had to be patient. He wanted Wano Kuni to take this opportunity to ride on the wave of the times and completely establish the country. Wow, a huge smiling whale boat rises and falls in the big waves. The ship's name is Moby Dick. Belongs to the last overlord of the New World, Whitebeard pirates. About how many days until we reach Wano Kuni? Captain Izo of the 16th Division clenched his fists anxiously. It will probably take a few days, don't worry, Yizang. Marco spoke soothingly. But, Lord Oden personally wrote a letter asking for help, which means Wano Kuni's situation must be very serious. Izo's face was full of worry. Relax, relax, that's Oden. You should know Oden's power best. The captain of the 3rd Division, Josie, expressed relief. What about Dad? Haven't you gotten up yet today? Captain Saki of the 4th Division asked curiously. As for Dad, he's probably still having troubles now. Marco smiled. Ha 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 ha, probably yes. After all, Oden agreed to leave for a year, but he ended up never coming back. Dad told me at the beginning that he would never see Oden unless he begged him personally. But Dad must really want to see Oden again in his heart. On the deck, the captains of the White Regiment were talking to each other, and it was very lively. Shut up, everyone. Really, they are chattering so early in the morning. It's really noisy. Whitebeard walked out of the cabin with a calm face. Ha 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 ha. Chapter 240 Beasts Pirates vs Moonlight Pirates. Please subscribe. Advertise here. Wano-kuni, Bell Queen, as a large rural area in the northern part of the country. This represents winter. Thick snow clouds linger for years. Heavy snowfall day after day turns this vast countryside into an icy snowfield. Nearly a month. However, Suzuo Shuixiong was not at peace. All because of that cunning demon thief, the tomb thief. No matter how many traps the daimyo Shimotsuki Gumaru set, the cunning tomb robber always manages to get away. He even took the opportunity to follow the shadows of his warriors. This large country with little sunshine all year round has suddenly become a hunting ground for the other party. Even the outstanding daimyo Yusumaru and his retainers. Facing the tomb robber who can freely control the shadow, he is also at a loss what to do. It was at this time. Daimyo Shimotsuki Gumaru received a letter. A secret letter written by Kazuki Oden, the daimyo of Kuri, and delivered by the ninja Raizo. What is that guy Oden planning to do? But let's try as he said. At this moment, a secret underground base in Suzugo Snow Village. Hey hee hee, good harvest, today is also a good harvest day. The man with a strange appearance and a long and narrow head like an onion devil laughed proudly. As expected of Captain Moria. Those warriors were completely fooled by Lord Moria's shadow warriors. Yes, if we continue at this rate, we will soon have the strongest zombie warrior army. By then, this country that hides a certain secret will not be in our possession. The pirates of the Moonlight group laughed and agreed. Hee hee. Moria laughed devilishly. The most important thing is not this country, but Kazuki Oden. He is the one who knows everything. As long as we can get information from him, the legendary One Piece is destined to be ours. Yeah, this country is second best. Our ultimate goal is One Piece's great secret treasure. Captain Moria is destined to become the second pirate king after Roger. The underground base has a warm atmosphere. Cemetery. The expression of a member with a spider hairstyle behind him suddenly changed. What's wrong? Everyone asked in confusion. Lord Moria, someone has touched my king and is coming towards us. The zone spider fruit user reported quickly. A samurai. No. Not samurai, but pirates. A large number of pirates. Oops, our base has been discovered. The words fell. Only a loud bang was heard. A bright beam of heat breath rushed across the snowy field. Completely penetrate and explode a low mountain. The Moonlight Regiment's base hidden under the low mountain was also shaking violently and was on the verge of collapse. Damn it, where is that bastard? Gecko Moria screamed angrily. He led his subordinates and filed out of the escape tunnel. Above the ice and snow, Fang people and horses meet. Please give me flowers. Looking at the large and powerful people not far away. The pirates of the Moonlight group were unconsciously panicking. Then, those people are. It can't be wrong. It's Beast's pirates. They actually came to this country. Damn it. They are the bastards of the 100 Beasts group. What do they want to do? You dare to openly challenge our Moonlight pirates, how brave you are. Do you really think that our Moonlight pirates are soft persimmons? We can let them control us. 0. Captain Moria. Hee. Gecko Moria, the great pirate with a bounty of over 300 million berry, sneered several times and unsheathed the famous sword at his waist. Today, he is not the fat man who was broken down by Kaido and gave up on himself. That round body is not filled with fat, but with muscles. The ambition in his heart is still to conquer the world. Even when faced with the terrifying Beasts pirates, Moria never showed any fear from beginning to end. Kaido of the Beasts, are you here to die today? Moria asked coldly. No, Moria, I know you. Although you are not my favorite zone, but do you want to become my subordinate? Kaido of the Beasts laughs. Nani, let me become your subordinate. What a wishful thinking. Who do you think I am? Lousy as Lord Gecko Moria. No, there's nothing we can do about it. Boys, please defeat them. Death. Chapter 241. Muscular Man Moria. Zombie Warrior Army. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Wano-kuni, Suzugo Snowfield. Kaido of the Beasts. Beasts pirates clash with Gecko Moria's Moonlight pirates. From the very beginning of the battle, there was a cruel scene of bloodshed. The pure white snow was stained with blood. No, give up, Moria, neither you nor your team is my opponent, so surrender as soon as possible. Kaido of the Beasts waved his fang club and laughed proudly. Kang. The powerful and heavy mace club was held in front by a nearly 4-meter long sword. Muscular hunk Moria grinned with a subtle, 047, arc. Even when facing the terrifying army of beasts, he still had no fear. This is out of trust in our own team and our partners. His Moonlight pirates are far less numerous than the beast's pirates. But any one of them is a good player who can defeat 10 or 100. It is beyond the comparison of ordinary pirates. Hey hee hee, do you think you have won? Kaido. Moria laughed sinisterly. Hu was waving a big sword in his hand. There were fierce sparks with Kaido of the Beasts, Fanged Club. Well, that's right, isn't it? Moria, the outcome of this battle has been determined from the beginning. Look around you, the difference in strength between you and me. My army of beasts is not something that just a few dozen of you can resist. Kaido of the Beasts laughed confidently. The reason why you were able to avoid collapse at the first touch is just because we haven't exerted our strength yet. That's it, the military strength is poor. What you rely on is the military strength gap. Moria smiled. What's so funny? Kaido looked gloomy. If he didn't have the idea of conquering Moria, let the Golden Lion see how powerful he is. Why would he bother with it and talk nonsense for so long? If you think this is all my troops, you are totally wrong, Kaido. Moria's arms suddenly opened. Wake up, my zombie army. Be my strength. Kill all the beasts. Moria's voice echoed over the snowy land. The words fell. The wind and snow between heaven and earth seemed to be stagnant. Immediately afterwards, an incredible scene happens. Kaka, boom. The solid ice and snow earth suddenly broke open one after another. One after another, the skinny, ghost-like hands broke through the frozen soil. Ooh, hoo ho 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 ho. The wind howls. Ghosts burst into tears. It's like the gates of hell are opening. The dead who have been dead for tens or hundreds of years return at this moment. One after another, the samurai zombies who have left a great reputation in the history of Wano emerged from the ground, pulled out the famous swords at their waists, and roared to join the battlefield. Oh. Did you see that? The beasts. Bastards. This is the power of our Moonlight pirates. In terms of military strength, we have never been afraid of anyone. This is the power of Captain Moria, who is destined to become the Pirate King. Tremble before the undead zombie warriors. The pirates of the Moonlight group all shouted excitedly. On the other hand, the pirates of the 100 Beasts group could no longer remain calm at this moment. What the hell is going on here? Zombies have appeared. These are the souls of samurai. Why do dead people move? It's a corpse scam. Kaido-sama, these guys can't be killed at all. It's fake, bullets have no effect on these at all. Even if their heads are cut off, they can still move. They are really immortal zombies. The pirate soldiers of the Beast Corps were all horrified, and screaming. Don't panic. Winged Dragon Jin stopped drinking coldly. The claws hold the head of a zombie warrior. With gentle force, the zombie warrior's head exploded. These are not real zombies, they are just the enemy's tactics. Even if they are immortal, 0.6 just dismember them to the point where they cannot move. Winged Dragon Jin shouted, Hey, it's really an interesting ability to make the dead move again. Brachiosaurus Quinn shows the true form of the ancient species Brachiosaurus. A sweep of the tail. A dozen zombie warriors flew upside down. What's more, it was broken into pieces on the spot. After the initial panic, the beast pirates have regrouped. Led by the Pterosaur Jin and the Brachiosaurus Quinn, they fearlessly face Moria's zombie army. Chapter 242 The Moonlight Group is defeated. Shadow Gathering Place. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe. Close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Wano-kuni. Daming Mansion behind the bell. Lord Ushimaru, there are violent fighting fluctuations in the northwest region, which may be related to tomb robbers. What should we do? Do you want to send someone over to take a look? A retainer reported urgently. Oden actually said it right. Daimyo Shimotsuki Gyumaru grew taller, looking at the turbulent wind and clouds in the northwest. He shook his head slowly. We don't need to intervene in this battle. Let's just wait and see what happens. Snowfield Battlefield. Relying on the help of the undead zombie army. Moria's Moonlight pirates are barely on par with the Beast's pirates. The war situation has entered a fierce stage. In terms of battle losses, there is no doubt that Beast's pirates is more serious. 23 after all, there are only a few dozen living members of the Moonlight pirates. The rest are immortal zombies. In contrast, the members of the 100 Beasts group participating in the battle are all living people. Although the battle damage was great, but the overall situation is still tilted towards the side of the beasts. As the battle continues, the balance of victory has shifted significantly. If there is no backup plan, the defeat of Moria and the Moonlight pirates will be a foregone conclusion. No, I admit that you have some tricks, but the final result will still remain the same. Make a decision now, Moria, surrender or die. Kaido of the Beasts laughed proudly. Hey. So I've told you before, don't get too happy too early, Kaido. As long as I defeat you, others have nothing to fear. Moria remained unfazed. Kaido of the Beasts seemed to have heard the most incredible joke in the world. So much so that the whole person couldn't help but be stunned for a while. Beat me. What nonsense are you talking about? Who do you think lousy is? Kaido of the Beasts growled and roared. It seems that I need to make you recognize the reality and the huge gap between you and me. Kaido grinned. Click. There was an explosion in the dark sky. A dazzling thunder streaked across the sky. In front of Moria, Kaido of the beasts, already tall body further swelled against the storm. It doesn't take a moment. A terrifying green dragon hundreds of meters long appeared. Hovering between heaven and earth. Disrupted the world. That terrifying figure, just looking at it, makes people feel despair unconsciously. Then that, what the hell is that? Dragon. That's a dragon. That Kaido turned into a dragon. This, what a terrifying ability this is. How can humans contend with monsters like that? Can't beat. Can't win. Run quickly, Captain Moria. Under the awe-inspiring blue dragon form displayed by Kaido of the beasts. Even the cadres of the Moonlight Regiment could not help but feel despair. I felt helpless in my heart, unable to fight against the terrifying dragon. No. Blue dragon form Kaido of the beasts laughs. Between mouths, heat bombs and tornadoes came out at the same time. Boom 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 boom. Rumble, rumble, rumble. There was a roaring sound between heaven and earth. During this period, there were also screams from everyone in the Moonlight group. The terrifying blue dragon Kaido appears. The rest of the beast's pirates don't need to take action anymore. Kaido alone dominates the entire ice and snow battlefield. The undead zombie army that Gecko Moria relied on was defeated by Kaido in an instant. Either it is annihilated into ashes by the heat, or it is dismembered by the bad wind and cannot remain intact. As for the cadres of the Moonlight Regiment, in the face of Kaido's absolute strength, he was unable to overcome many storms and was already defeated. No, who did you say you wanted to defeat earlier? Moria. Xinglong Kaido laughed proudly. Damn Kaido. Moria was half kneeling on the ground. 843 on the devil's head, which was like an onion, blood flowed continuously. Captain Moria, that's a monster. We can't win. For now, let's retreat first. Our strength alone is no match for that dragon. Yes, Master Moria, we will cover you, please retreat. Everyone in the Moonlight group urged anxiously. No. Moria shook her head suddenly. It's not time to give up yet, I'm not defeated yet. Gecko Moria's mouth curved into a crazy arc. At this point, if you have any other means, feel free to use them. Kaido stands between heaven and earth, overlooking Moria. In that case, let me show you the ultimate power of my ability. Moria laughed ferociously, snapped. His demonic claws slapped onto the snow. Assemble. Shadow Gathering Place. Chapter 243 400 Shadows Moriav's Dragon Man Kaido open black lens bracket please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Shadow Gathering Place. The ultimate move of Paramesh's Shadow Fruit ability. Now, start. As Moria's big hand clapped it down. The zombie warriors in all directions trembled. Then they fell to the ground one after another. One after another, dark shadows flew out of the zombies' bodies. The gravitational force pulled her down and sank into Moria's body. 10, 20, 50, 100. With the integration of Samurai Shadow. Moria's size also grew in response to the storm. It took less than a moment to break through 10 meters. It's not over yet. I can still bear it. Moria opened her red eyes. 200, 300. Finally, the number of shadows absorbed into Moria's body reached a terrifying 400. Compared to Chikage Moria in later generations, the number is less than half. But the current Moria's strength is far superior to the 1,000 shadows form. Because after absorbing these 400 warrior shadows in the body, he didn't go into a rage. Rely on your own ability and strong will. He suppressed the rampage of the shadows. Controlled the power of these 400 shadows. Just like Nightmare Luffy. Lord Quinn, look at that Moria. He seems to have become even more demonic. Is that the real devil? Feel the terrifying and intimidating power emanating from Moria. The pirates who were members of the Beast Corps felt their hearts palpitate and tremble unconsciously. Whatever you are worried about, hurry up and get ready for lousy. Let me give that Moria the final blow. Brachiosaurus Quinn stood on the sling calmly. The pirates under his command cut the rope. The next second. The powerful force of the stone threw Quinn into the sky. Take the move, Brachiosaurus bomb. Adjust the distance and angle. Quinn completed the Brachiosaurus transformation in midair. The huge Brachiosaurus body, carrying the terrifying power of a mountain, pressed down on Moria. Be crushed to pieces by Lord Quinn's Brachiosaurus bomb. It looks like the battle is about to end. This blow is the end. Oh. The cheers of the beast pirates suddenly stopped. Something no one expected happened. Faced with Quinn's Brachiosaurus bomb falling from the sky. 400 shadows Moria does not dodge or avoid. There was a flash of cold light. The sword is unsheathed. What followed was a blinding splatter of blood. The Brachiosaurus Quinn that fell from the sky was suddenly chopped away by Moria at this moment. One blow, instant kill. Ever since, the entire snowfield battlefield became quiet. Falling into a dead silence that could hear a pin drop. How come? How could such a thing happen? That's Master Quinn. How could Moria be able to decode Lord Quinn's Brachiosaurus bomb? The beast pirates murmured in disbelief. Lord Moria. Captain Moria, maybe it really works. Yes, that is the strongest shadow gathering place. Master Moria now is completely different from before. The pirates of the Moonlight group felt excited and excited again. It's you next, Kaido. Moria didn't even look at the Brachiosaurus Quinn flying upside down, and Haki's sword pointed at Kaido. No, how dare you say that, Moria? If you have any other moves, just come over. Kaido shouted. The next second, Kaido's huge dragon eye pupils shrank suddenly. Moria, who was locked in his sight, disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already in midair. Boom. Amidst the loud noise, Xinglong Kaido was hit hard and his eyes suddenly fell asleep. The indestructible dragon body was brutally torn open by Moria's sword, and the dragon's blood spilled into the sky. In just 1 week, Kaido, who aspires to become the strongest creature, was defeated for the second time. Hateful, under the stimulation of pain, he put aside all his contempt for Moria. He transforms into his strongest draconian form. Pull out the fangs and sticks from behind your waist. A blow that dominated the world. Thunder 8 trigrams. Boom. The mace's club clashed with Moria's sword. Boom. The terrifying impact caused the ice and snow ground to explode one after another. Countless ice cubes, large and small, rushed up into the sky. Then it shattered into ice crystals under the horrific impact. The battle between Kaido of the Beasts and the 400 Shadows Moria lasted for 3 hours. In the end, Kaido was superior. Using the newly mastered Conqueror's Coil as a decisive blow, he powerfully defeated Gecko Moria, who was supported by 400 samurai. Moria, defeated. Chapter 244 Wano Kuni's unexpected sudden founding of the country. Please subscribe. Advertise here. Came back. Really back. My shadow is back. That damn shadow thief must have suffered divine punishment. Now we can finally appear in the sunshine again. Oh. Everywhere behind the bell, the warriors whose shadows had been stolen by Moria were cheering excitedly. Daming mansion behind the bell. Daimyo Shimotsuki Gyumaru nodded. There was also excitement on his face. Ushimaru-sama, all the shadows of the Yin family have returned. A retainer jogged in surprise. Shimotsuki Gyumaru stroked the little fox next to him with his big hand. But now is not the time to celebrate happily. Now pass on my order to organize the entire army and prepare for battle. Asterisk. Ghost Island. Click. Bright 593 flashes of lightning illuminated the darkening sky. A huge blue dragon hundreds of meters tall stepped on the flame cloud, supporting a ship to land slowly. Gia ha, it's just a mere Moria. It's really embarrassing, Kaido. It seems that I need to continue to consider whether you are really qualified to form an alliance with me. Golden Lion Shiki crossed his arms and spoke teasingly. Stop talking, Shiki. Kaido of the Beasts looked gloomy. To be honest, to deal with a mere Moria is to inflict such damage on them. Kaido was also furious inside. What made him even more angry was, although they destroyed the Moonlight pirates together, but it allowed the most important Moria to escape. Now listen to Golden Lion's CDDI sarcasm again. Kaido felt like his whole body was going to explode. But there is no way to vent. No matter what, this battle is our great victory. Little ones, next is the celebration party. Kaido raised his arms and shouted. The incident of the demon tomb robber behind the bell was solved. The Beasts pirates of Onigashima are resting, staying put. There are undercurrents surging underground in the Flower City, but everything is calm on the surface. Peaceful days have passed for 3 more days. The morning of the 4th day. A sudden decision news shocked the entire Wano Kuni. Everyone, including Kazuki Oden, was at a loss. That's the news about the founding of Wano Kuni. Shogun Sukiyaki personally approved it. Wano Kuni was founded. Reached a cooperation agreement with world government. As soon as the news came out, everyone was shocked. Collaborating with the world government to found a country. What happened to Sukiyaki-sama? Shimotsuki Yasui, the white dance daimyo, frowned deeply. According to the ancestral teachings, the huge force we want to prevent by closing the country is world government. Suzugo daimyo Shimotsuki Ushimaru was stunned by this order. This is definitely not a decision Sukiyaki-sama would make. Neglect. When did the people from the world government sneak into this country? What did they do to the general? Nozomi daimyo Fugitsu Oyuki and Azuki daimyo Ugetsu Tempura both had expressions of disbelief. 9 Mile, Oden Castle. Lord Oden, what exactly is going on? Why did Sukiyaki-sama suddenly agree to found the country? The founding of the country is indeed a good thing, but world government. Why is it world government? Kinemon, Denjiro, Shutenmaru and other red scabbard warriors all had faces full of absurdity and confusion. Kazuki Oden frowned deeply and couldn't calm down. This was also an unexpected situation that he was unaware of. I thought I had figured out all the forces lurking in the country. They will take the initiative. But I never thought about it. The world government, which originally thought it was crippled and unable to make waves again, actually took action again. And it is directly a king-level ultimate move. They actually convinced the stubborn old man to found the country. This is simply unscientific. Behind such a small probability event, there must be some huge conspiracy hidden. The worst situation. His father Sukiyaki has been supported by the world government. Think of this. Kazuki Oden can't sit still anymore. Even his stubborn idiot father is still his father. It must not be left alone. Kinemon, you stay in Curry and continue to guard, while I go to the Flower City. Chapter 245. All the famous names are here. The Wrath of Oden. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. When Kazuki Oden rushed to the flower capital in a hurry, Shimotsuki Yasui, the relatively nearby Hakudai daimyo, had already arrived first. and had a long conversation with Shogun Sukiyaki. Yasui, how's the situation? What's going on in that idiot dad's head? In front of the general's palace, Kazuki Oden spoke angrily and unceremoniously. Watch your words, Oden. Shimotsuki Yasui drank majestically. Suddenly, he sighed again and shook his head feebly. Obviously, you categorically rejected my proposal to found the country before, but now you are. Besides, you are still in contact with the world government that you have the least contact with. Isn't Dad really controlled by hypnosis? No, I have to see him, and the people from the world government. Kazuki Oden gritted his teeth and prepared to rush into the hall. Clang clang clang. The retainers and warriors of the general's palace unsheathed their swords and stopped in front of Oden. Do you also want to stop me? I'm afraid you can't stop me. Oden spoke calmly and confidently. The broadswords Tien Yu Zan and Yanmo unsheathed them simultaneously, releasing the terrifying pressure of Wan. Lord Oden, please don't embarrass the little ones. The head of the general's retainers wiped the fine cold sweat from his forehead. For the power of Kazuki Oden. They know it. Even if all the warriors in the general's palace come together, they may not be able to stop him. They really don't want a conflict to break out unless necessary. But, Oden-sama, this is Sukiyaki-sama's order. Fu Lusho, the leader of the Yuding fans and the 25-year-old boy with an unusually long head, and his ninja legions, are waiting in full formation. That's enough, Tien, Shimotsuki Yasui shouted. Yasui, but, your worries are unnecessary. I have talked with Lord Sukiyaki before. Judging from his demeanor, expression, and movements, there is a high probability that Lord Sukiyaki is not controlled by hypnosis, the person from the world government, as you expected. This is General's own will. Shimotsuki Yasui said solemnly. Dad's own will. Impossible. Why? He has always been firmly opposed to my founding of the country. Kazuki Oden looked in disbelief. I'm afraid there is some kind of deal involved. Shimotsuki Yasui's eyes were dark. Deal. Kazuki Oden was stunned. Anyway, let's wait for now. Let's ask for a meeting together after I, Yui, and Tempura all arrive. Shimotsuki Yasui said. Oh well. Kazuki Oden nodded solemnly, forcing himself to suppress the urgency in his heart. It won't be long. 2 hours later, the Suzugo Daimyo Shimotsuki Gyumaru, the Nozomi Daimyo Fugitsu Oyuki and the Azuki Daimyo Ugetsu Tempura rushed to the shogun's mansion one after another. Like Oden not too long ago. The moment the three people arrived, they all couldn't wait to ask questions. Please give me flowers. Every time, the steady Shimotsuki Yasui is responsible for explanation and comfort. Finally, when Wanokuni's 5 Dashong Daimyo all arrived, the closed door of the general meeting hall opened. The young man Fu Lu Shou walked out slowly. With a wave of his hand, he dismissed the samurai retainers guarding the door. Lord Oden and other daimyo, Shogun Sukiyaki-sama has decided to summon you. The road of happiness, prosperity and longevity. The moment the words fell, Fu Lu Shou felt a strong air flow passing by him. It almost rotated 360 degrees in place. That was Kazuki Oden who couldn't wait to break in. Idiot dad, what kind of plane are you working on? Why do you want to cooperate with the world government to build a country? Kazuki Oden's angry voice echoed in the meeting hall. It's really rude, God. Fu Lu Shou scolded him angrily. Never mind. Shogun Sukiyaki waved his hand. He didn't care at all about his son Oden's rudeness. Quickly, Shimotsuki Yasui and other 4 daimyo also entered the main hall. Take a seat in their respective positions. General Sukiyaki's eyes swept over the 5 people in the room one by one. This decision to found the country was made by me after careful consideration. You don't need to persuade me, and it's useless to stop me. Make an appointment. Chapter 246 Oden. Stupid dad, let me be a general, please subscribe. Advertise here. Chapter 246 Oden. Stupid dad, let me be a general, please subscribe. This decision to found the country was made by me after careful consideration. You don't need to persuade me, and it's useless to stop me. Shogun Sukiyaki spoke. There was an undeniable firmness in his calm tone. As Wanokuni's highest-ranking general, he has the power to decide any matter with a single word. Even if there are big names from major towns here. He also has no power to overturn his decision as a general. Shimotsuki Yasui, the white dance daimyo, was silent, and the Belgo daimyo lowered his eyebrows and lowered his head. Nozomi daimyo Fugitsu Goyuki and Azuki daimyo Ugetsu Tempura clenched their 847 fists and opened their mouths, but stopped talking. In the end, nothing could be said. Only the last Kuri daimyo. As the son of Kazuki Sukiyaki, the future heir to the general. Kazuki Oden, who was also the lawless Wanokuni demon king. He doesn't care about the general's absolute power. When something goes wrong, you will never remain silent. Idiot dad, it's almost time for you to stop. Kazuki Oden unceremoniously calls his father an idiot. What did you say? Oden, you bastard, what did you call me? Kazuki Sukiyaki is furious. Stupid. Kazuki Oden emphasized repeatedly. Angry Kazuki Sukiyaki's face turned red. That's enough, Oden, don't irritate Sukiyaki-sama further. That's right, General's body. Fugetsu Oyuki and Ugetsu Tempura spoke with concern. The words were not finished. No problem. The Shogun Sukiyaki was full of energy and he drank it. So Feng Yu and Yu suddenly discovered it. Today's Shogun Sukiyaki is in much better condition than usual. Far from his usual sickly appearance. Idiot dad, you don't know that the reason why our ancestors closed the country 800 years ago was to prevent this country from being eroded by a huge force. You should also know very well about that huge force, that is world government. Kazuki Oden spoke solemnly. Oden, times have changed. General Kazuki Sukiyaki spoke quietly. Besides, haven't you always wanted to promote the founding of the country? I didn't allow you to make trouble before, but now that I have agreed to the founding of the country, you still want to make trouble. What kind of trouble do you want to make? The general ordered Sukiyaki and asked. The kind of founding I want is not this kind of founding. Cooperating with the world government is tantamount to seeking the skin of a tiger and ultimately leading to an unimaginable disaster for this country. Kazuki Oden said. Yasui, Ushimaru, Yu and Tempura nodded quietly, expressing their agreement with Oden's view. Unable to express their own opinions, they can only rely on Oden to speak out. For the first time, Fugetsu Oyuki and Ugetsu Tempura felt that Oden was somewhat reliable. However, anyway, if you want to build a country, just do it my way. Idiot dad, if you are so confused, please give up your position quickly and let me be the general. Kazuki Oden said. What did you say? Oden, you rebellious son, do you want to usurp the throne? General Sukiyaki was furious. Oden, how presumptuous, Oden. Hurry up and take that back. This is treason. Yasui and the 4 others were shocked. However, Oden has no intention of backing down. He went to the final island with Roger and knew the entire history. We will never let the world government get its hands on Wano-kuni. If you are really stupid, Dad, and want the world government to intervene in Wano-kuni, then I will have no choice but to be rebellious again. Kazuki Oden threatened. You, treacherous son, as long as I live, you can't even think of becoming a general. General Suki was so angry that he was shaking with rage. However, his mental state is still not bad. At this time, Oden seemed to notice something. He narrowed his eyes slightly and locked his gaze on a small gold ornament in Sukiyaki's hand. Dad, what is that? Kazuki Oden asked. Hear the words. Kazuki Sukiyaki quickly retracted his hand. Hide gold trinkets under your clothes. Kazuki Oden's gaze became more and more compelling. Others don't know, but he knew it all too well. The person with the ability to listen to the sounds of all things 5.6 heard unusual fluctuations from the gold jewelry. That's no ordinary gold. He had heard the same sound before, so it was not unfamiliar to him. It was a sound of pure gold. His brother Newgate has it. So does Roger. Now it's on Rouge. It was a legendary thing made by a legendary hero. Now it appears on my father. This is definitely unusual. Oden was very sure that this was definitely not sent by Roger. Then there is only one possibility left. I see, is this the deal? Chapter 247 Kazuki Oden vs 5 Elders. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe. Close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Trade. What deal? Oden, what do you mean? The 4 daimyo, Shimotsuki Yasui, Shimotsuki Gumaru, Fugetsu Oyuki and Ugetsu Tempura, looked at Kazuki Oden in confusion. Without waiting for Oden to speak. That's right. General Shoxi drank after burning. I made a deal with people from the world government, but the main reason is still you, Oden. In those years, you abandoned your responsibilities as a daimyo and became a pirate. You committed mischief overseas and even committed an unforgivable heinous crime with that pirate king. According to what the world government said, they were originally going to eradicate you at any cost, so I made this deal with them. General Sukiyaki spoke righteously. Don't be ridiculous, we just got to see the truth about the world, the truth that the government doesn't want to make public for the world to know. Kazuki Oden refutes 23. Besides, those things will be exposed to the world sooner or later. No matter how hard the world government tries to hide it, it is useless. The gears of fate have already begun to turn. Ho ho, even I can't pretend that I didn't hear these words. An old voice came from the inner hall of the general's mansion. A bald old man with a birthmark in a suit and tie appeared slowly, escorted by several CP0s in white robes and masks. Who are they? Nozomi and Tuden Daimyo stood up quickly and prepared for the attack. World government. Shimotsuki Yasui narrowed his eyes slightly. Yes, the adults standing in front of you now are the highest powers in the world, the 5 elders. A CP0 introduced arrogantly. Nani? Shimotsuki Gumaru's eyes widened in shock. This is really grand. Shimotsuki Yasui's face darkened slightly. World government. 5 elders. Kazuki Oden gritted his teeth and was ready to move. Kazuki Oden, the reason why you and Wano-kuni did not suffer from Buster Call's fire is all because of your father's wise decision, thank you. The bald old star with birthmark spoke from a high position. All you have to do from now on is to shut up, don't say anything, and cooperate with our world government, and your Wano-kuni can last at least another 800 years. 800-year-old puppet. Oden scoffed. It's fine that I was deceived by you guys. I won't believe your lies. If you want to carry out a Buster Call on our Wano-kuni, it depends on whether your warships can successfully land. Enough. General Shoxi drank after burning. Interrupt Oden's confrontation with the 5 elders. Today's regular meeting ends here. The founding of the country has been decided and will not be changed. You can go back and prepare. Sukiyaki said in a tone that did not allow for criticism. But Sukiyaki-sama, I said that's it, yes. Nozomi Daimyo Fugetsu Oyuki and Utoden Daimyo Aim Tempura were the first to stand up and leave. Shimotsuki Yasui and Shimotsuki Ushimaru looked at each other. Both men restrained Kazuki Oden, who was still about to get angry, and went out. Let me go quickly. Oden struggled. I still have. It's almost enough. If you have anything to say, I can go back and say it slowly. Big brother Shimotsuki Yasui spoke majestically. Hear the words. Oden then lost his temper. He followed Shimotsuki Yasui honestly to the home of Hanano Hyogoro, the underworld boss in the capital. At the same time, a ghost island full of demons. The beasts pirates headed by Kaido are still immersed in the joyful banquet of defeating the Moonlight group. At this time, Mr. Kaido, something is wrong. Kurozumi, the big snake, screamed in a panic. What's wrong? Kaido was drinking alone. Not long ago, Kazuki Sukiyaki in 790 Flower City issued a notice and decided to cooperate with the world government to establish a country. It's not good. It's really not good now. If the world government becomes their backing, our chances of succeeding in capturing Wano-kuni are even slimmer. Kurozumi is in great danger. Nani, the world government also wants to get involved in this country. This is indeed not good news. If the world government is really the first to move in, then everything will be over. Kaido, the pterosaur Jin, the Brachiosaurus Quinn and others all looked at Kaido. Kaido's eyes fell on the golden lion who occupied his daughter. Jia ha, what does it matter? Not everyone in this Wano-kuni is willing to cooperate with the world government honestly. Rather, now is our opportunity. Chapter 248. Kaido of the Beasts who pretends to be a god or a ghost. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe. Close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Early morning. The morning glow is rising. The streets of the Flower City are gradually recovering and prospering. People walked through the streets and alleys. It was so lively. At some point, no. High-pitched and loud laughter suddenly sounded from the distant horizon. It attracted the attention of the residents of the Flower City. Hey, look east. What it is? It seems like something big is coming. That, is it true or false? That's the dragon. Wow, people's shock and uproar echoed over the flower capital for a long time. Shenlong, it's really a dragon. The legendary creature actually exists in this world. It's really shocking. Where did the dragon come from? Idiot, that must be the dragon that protects us Wano-kuni. Alas, but isn't the family crest of General Kazuki's family a sacred bird? Why is it a divine dragon? Idiot, what's the difference between the family crest and the guardian dragon? Yes, that must be the guardian dragon sleeping in the sea. But why does Shenlong wake up at this time? Does it need to be said? It must be because of Sukiyaki-sama's founding of the country. Hey, shut up, you're going to die. Everywhere in the Flower City. The residents were talking a lot. Watching the dance move the world. The mighty dragon coming from far and near. The people of Wano-kuni were surprised and delighted. At the same time, the general's mansion in the capital of flowers was also in chaos and hustle and bustle at the moment. That's a dragon. Why do dragons appear? It is my fault. General Sukiyaki went out tremblingly with the support of the samurai. The old face was filled with horror and horror. Sukiyaki-sama, what are you talking about? Fu Lu Shoudao, the captain of the royal court squadron. The founding of the country is wrong. This is the warning given to me by my ancestors throughout the ages. Kazuki Sukiyaki said that he was going to bow down and bow. It won't take long. The hundreds of meters long divine dragon descended on the flower capital with clouds covering the sky and the sun. In blue dragon form, Kaido pricks up his ears and uses observation haki to capture the words and deeds of people on the ground. I couldn't help but feel great joy in my heart. There is no dissatisfaction or criticism about the strategy proposed by Golden Lion Shiki. At last night's combat meeting, in response to the situation where the world government takes the lead in advance, Kaido of the Beasts did not hesitate to show their willingness to fight head-on. To this, Golden Lion Shiki dismissed it directly. And proposed the current operation. Kaido comes to the flower capital in the body of a divine dragon. Spread superstitions and rumors. For the residents of Wano-kuni who live in isolation. Legendary creatures like dragons are extremely deceptive. The facts are as Golden Lion expected. When I saw the legendary dragon coming from the clouds and riding in the mist. The residents of Wano-kuni, who had never seen this scene before, almost regarded it as a god. What's more, they knelt down and worshipped devoutly on the spot. This brings great psychological satisfaction to the vain Kaido. However, he did not forget the most important purpose of his trip. A few hundred meters of green dragon crosses Rakshasa Street. Finally, it hovered over the general's mansion. Thick dark clouds covered the sky and the earth. Xinglong's head passed through the clouds, overlooking the general's mansion. You, what the hell are you? A warrior mustered up his courage and stepped forward to ask. The next second, shut up. General Kazuki Suki drank, put his hands together, and bowed deeply to Kaido. Lord Shenlong, please forgive the rudeness of the surrounding people. Sukiyaki-sama, General, please don't do this, there must be some fraud involved. We must first find out the true identity of this dragon. Fu Lu Shou and others warned. However, Sukiyaki, who has a great respect for mythology, has never heard of it. Just as always with a pious heart. No. Well, it's okay. Kaido laughed proudly. The sound rumbled like thunder. What are the instructions from Lord Shenlong on this trip? But what did I do wrong? Sukiyaki asked. Good. Wrong. Big mistake. As a general of Wano-kuni, why do you want to cooperate with the world government? Have you forgotten the ancestral teachings of Kazuki? Even if you want to cooperate, you should still cooperate with me, ah. The blue dragon's whiskers suddenly straightened, and the pain that followed made Kaido take a breath. I understand, Master Shenlong, I will. Kazuki Sukiyaki didn't finish his words. Cemetery. Tempest kick. Dozens or hundreds of dark blue tempest kick air blades flew from the roof of the general's mansion, shooting towards the divine dragon high in the sky. Sukiyaki, are you an idiot? That's not a dragon worthy of worship, that's a pirate. Chapter 249. World Government Attacks Ghost Island. Please subscribe. Advertise here. Sukiyaki, that's not a dragon worthy of worship, that's just a pirate. An old voice sounded from not far away. The five elders, the highest power in the world, revealed the identity of Qinglong with a calm face. What did you say? Pirate. General Sukiyaki was stunned and glanced at the blue dragon in the sky. How is this possible? This is obviously a dragon. Sukiyaki shook his head in disbelief. Really, the natives in uncivilized areas are ignorant. Bald birthmark five elders shook his head and raised his right hand high. World government CP powerhouses from all over the general mansion have all entered a state of preparation for war. Get started and beat down that bastard who is pretending to be a ghost. With an order from the five elders. There were roars from all directions. Dozens and hundreds of 680 tempest kick air blades flew out again. It sank into the clouds and hit Kaido's dragon body, making a clanging sound of gold and iron. Even though most attacks can't break through the defense at all, they don't even count as being tickled. However, there were still a few attacks during this period, which made Kaido feel pain. What's more, even the dragon scales were shattered. It can be seen that there are indeed powerful people hidden in the world government CP below. Damn it, humble humans, are you provoking the majesty of the dragon? Qinglong Kaido scolded in a majestic voice. Stop pretending, Kaido of the beasts. As for your identity and abilities, our world government has already found out. You are Zone, a fish fruit phantom beast with the ability to form a blue dragon. I came here this time because I want to seize this country. Give up. With our world government here, you have no chance. If you know what's going on, get out of here. Otherwise, just wait until you become Vegapunk's experiment again. The CPs of world government started to scold him one after another. Kaido's face gradually darkened. It was because of Roger. He was forced to become Vegapunk's experimental subject. This is the pain of his life. He had sworn an oath. He will never let anyone else dominate his life again. How dare you do it again and again? I can't bear it anymore. Bad wind. Qinglong Kaido opened his mouth wide. Dozens of terrifying wind blades shot out. Shoot down the strong world government CP who tried to rise into the sky on the moonwalk. Even the iron body cannot defend against the sword energy comparable to that of the new Iron Sword Master. There was a rain of blood in the sky. Don't be afraid. Keep going. The strong in world government are still fearless. Thunder. CDCF. Ang. The roar of the dragon, as high as thunder, boomed across the sky. Thick thunderbolts hit the sky one after another, raging in all directions. Tornado bad wind. Kaido's dragon body danced crazily. Several powerful tornadoes followed and the general's mansion was in a mess. Stop it quickly. Don't anger Master Shenlong further. Shogun Sukiyaki screamed in horror. So we have already said that it is a change of the pirate's devil fruit ability, not a real dragon. Bald birthmark Old Star said. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. This Kamui is the best proof of dragon. Shogun Sukiyaki still insists on his opinion. Idiot, if you don't believe it, then shut up and watch with your eyes wide open. After we shoot him down, you can see if he is a dragon. The bald old star with birthmark glanced at Sukiyaki. He took out the phone bug from his pocket. We must order the activation of the thunder power. Use the strongest force to defeat and capture Kaido on the spot. However, the next second, the unexpected happened again. Waiting for the hidden power deployed by the world government in the Flower City to activate. Kaido, the blue dragon in the sky, suddenly turned his head upside down. When you had the upper hand, you turned around and ran away. The old star with only a bald birthmark and a group of strong CP men were messy in the wind. You have really angered Master Shenlong. I can't see your sincerity in cooperating at all. General Sukiyaki yelled angrily. Shut up. The bald old star with birthmarks had veins twitching on his forehead. Knowing that failure to address this hidden danger will have a huge impact on future actions. We will be responsible for getting rid of that blue dragon who was pretending to be a ghost. You just wait here. The old bald star with birthmark spoke coldly. A big wave of his hand. World government strong men gather. Prepare to attack Ghost Island. Chapter 250 Whitebeard lands in Wano. Brothers reunited. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe. Close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Shiki, why are you retreating? Even without your help, I can destroy those lackeys of the world government by myself. Qinglong Kaido roared unwillingly. I told you to retreat, so I'll retreat. Why is there so much nonsense? The golden lion slapped Kaido's dragon head. The powerful conqueror's entangling power made Kaido take a breath unconsciously. The combat power of the world government in the Flower City is not just the hundreds of people on the surface. It's just you. If you really fall down, there is a high probability that you won't be able to get out. Finally, Golden Lion added another sentence. Then you can escape. Xinglong Kaido said unconvinced. Golden Lion glanced sideways at Kaido. Who do you think lousy is? I can even impel him. HMPH. Kaido hummed twice, but there was no more sound. It was Impel Down after all. Even when Golden Lion escaped from prison, the most terrifying legendary director was no longer there. But being able to successfully escape from that iron wall was an unprecedented feat. So what do we do next? Kaido asked. Next, let's go back to Ghost Island to prepare for war and wait for the opportunity. The corner of Golden Lion's mouth raised a slight arc. Under the orders of the 5 elders, the supreme power. The 5 world government warships that landed through Wano-kuni's submersible harbor set sail and set off to attack Onigashima. The other side, the White Dance Daimyo Shimotsuki Yasui, the Suzugo Daimyo Shimotsuki Ushimaru, and the Curry Daimyo Kazuki Oden also received the news that Blue Dragon appeared in the Flower City. Immediately, big names from all sides took action. Gather warriors and retainers. Go to the Flower Capital and be escorted by King Chin. The warriors in Julie, led by the Red Sheath retainers, were also ready to go. Just waiting for the order from Lord Oden. But at this moment, Kazuki Oden, the daimyo of Curry, received a message. Don't worry about the old man Sukiyaki in the Flower City. Kazuki Oden steps up his long legs. He immediately ran towards Port Ida. A few minutes later, Garita Port appeared in Oden's sight. Also appearing at the same time was the familiar huge whale ship. 10 years have passed. The smiling whale ship once again lands in Wano-kuni Curry. Only this time, after getting familiar with the currents. The whale ship did not suffer as much damage as before. In almost mint condition. Wow, the wind blew wildly. The top of the whale ship's mast. A Whitebeard skull banner stalks the wind. Represents their identity. They are the last legends of the sea after the disbandment of the Roger Pirates. Whitebeard Pirates. That guy Oden doesn't know if he has received our message. ... Please give me flowers. Marco, the captain of the first team, frowned. Ha ha ha, don't worry, I must have received it. Captain Beasta of the 5th Division patted Marco on the shoulder. That guy is probably on his way here now. Diamond Josie, captain of the 3rd Division, guessed. Yeah, everyone agreed. Dad, we are going to see Oden again soon. Are you looking forward to it? Thatch, captain of the 4th Division, looked at Whitebeard with a smile. Expecting a hammer, who wants to see that idiot who doesn't keep his word? Whitebeard spoke angrily. I'm a little tired, so I'm going back to rest. Whitebeard said and turned around, preparing to return to the cabin. Suddenly, at this time, there was a rush of footsteps in the distant dense forest. Immediately afterwards, a flying dust dragon appeared in the sight of the Whitebeard pirates. Dad, look over there, Yin Biao. It's exactly the same as before. That's the captain. The captain is really here. That's Captain Oden. The people in the Whitebeard pirates shouted excitedly. Bye. Xiao. G. Chapter 251 Whitebeard, beats up, Kazuki Oden open black lens bracket please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Bye. Xiao. G. Kazuki Oden's shouts filled with joy and excitement echoed over Curry Ida Port. It's Oden. Oden is here. Captain Oden. Captain, I've been waiting for you for a long time. Daddy, it's Oden who's here. Everyone in the Whitebeard pirates cheered excitedly. Reunion with Kazuki Oden after many years. Each of them was filled with excitement. Dad, it's Oden. Marco laughed. Bye. 880, Bearded snorted and turned his head to himself without looking at Oden. However, the corners of Whitebeard's mouth unconsciously curved, and were soon forced down by Rayleigh. This represents the mood at the moment. For the reunion with brother Oden. Whitebeard was naturally happy inside. But it cannot be shown on the bright side. After all, when Oden was poached by Roger, he promised to come back in 1 year. As a result, now, it has been almost 10 years. Whitebeard once said something out of anger, unless Oden personally apologized. Otherwise, you will never take the initiative to see him. So here comes Wano-kuni again. Whitebeard certainly wouldn't give Oden a good look. Really, Dad, stop being so reserved. Captain Saki of the 4th Squadron winked and joked. Yes, Dad, the mouth Kakuzu is open. The captain of the 3rd Division, Josie, smiled. Shut up, everyone. Whitebeard blew his beard and stared. Ha 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 ha, accompanied by hearty laughter. More than 100 meters away, Kazuki Oden suddenly jumped up. Jumping straight into the welcome ceremony of the Whitebeard pirates. Lord Oden, Izo, the captain of the 16th Division, squeezed in front of his long-lost master and knelt down on one knee. Get up, Yi Zhang, there is no need for this between you and me. Kazuki Oden stood up with support from Yizo. Oden. Captain Oden. Ha ha ha, everyone, it's been such a long time. Kazuki Oden scratched his head in embarrassment. Oden, you still know it's been a long time. You said you would come back in a year before. How long has it been? Yes, it's too much. We have been waiting for you to come back, Captain. All the pirates in the White group complained. Sorry, everyone, in fact, I have been planning to go to sea these years, but as you know, I know nothing about sailing, and I am locked up again. Oden rubbed the back of his head with a look on his face. Ha 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 ha, that's true. This is Oden. Captain Oden is still the same, nothing has changed at all. In that case, we forgive you. The pirates in the White group said carelessly. I'm really sorry. Kazuki Oden bowed and apologized. Hey, Oden, just follow us. You should think carefully about how to apologize to Dad. Marco pointed at Whitebeard not far away. Kazuki Oden was stunned. Immediately, he stepped forward and came to Whitebeard. Bai Xiaoji, humph, Whitebeard raised his head and turned around to ignore it. Kazuki Oden then turned to the front again. Whitebeard once again turned his back arrogantly. Really, Bai Xiaoji, I was really wrong, please forgive me. Kazuki Oden put his hands together and apologized with a playful smile. Whitebeard still ignored it. See this. Kazuki Oden couldn't help but feel embarrassed. He scratched his head, chewed his teeth, and then spoke. The Bai Xiaoji I know is one of the greatest heroes in the sea. Hear the words. Whitebeard's eyes lit up and his complexion softened slightly. But the next second, we haven't seen you for a few years, Bai Xiaoji, why have you become so petty? Oden continued. The words fell. The huge Julie Ida port fell into silence. What also froze was the pride on Whitebeard's face. Somewhere, a heavy atmosphere fell over him. The people, led by Captain Marco, quietly retreated and put some distance between themselves and Oden. Oden. Finally, Whitebeard spoke. The sound was as dull as thunder. Ha ha ha, Bai Xiaoji, are you finally willing to talk to me? Kazuki Oden was delighted. The next second, but he saw a fist as big as a sandbag constantly enlarging in his pupils. You big idiot. Chapter 252. Oden repeatedly jumps to death on the edge of the minefield. Please subscribe. Advertise here. Boom. Whitebeard's sandbag-sized fist came into close contact with Kazuki Oden's face. Even without the added power of shock fruit, the master of the sea, Whitebeard, is still unrivaled in his fists. Punch out. The body of Kazuki Oden, who was hit directly, rotated 720 degrees in the air, and his nosebleed flowed for 300 feet. Finally, it hit the open space 100 meters away. Bai Xiaoji, what are you doing all of a sudden? Kazuki Oden growled dissatisfied. Oden, you are such a hopeless idiot. You were abducted by Roger without permission and never came back. Now you are going to beat me up and accuse me of being petty. Are you looking for a beating? Whitebeard grinned, and his old face was clouded, making people shudder. See this. Oden knows. Whitebeard was really angry. 23. The playful smile of the past cannot be fooled anymore. I'm really sorry, Beiji. Kazuki Oden hurriedly sat upright, assuming a Tugeza position, and sincerely admitted his mistake. However, the atmosphere in the venue was still heavy. Marco, Josie, Saki, you guys can tell me something too. Oden looked at Marco and the others for help. However, there is no exception. Everyone in the white group headed by Marco turned their heads and whistled to themselves. Even Izo, the captain of Division 16, is no exception. Really, they are all stingy, we are no longer brothers and partners. Oden complained without restraint. This time, it was a hornet's nest. Marco and the others, who originally planned to keep the matter out of their sight, all turned their heads. Do you still know that we are partners and brothers? It's brother, and you haven't heard anything from you for so many years. Now he's even beating him up. Dad, please rest first. Leave this guy Oden to us. Marco and other captains said. They all stepped forward and surrounded Oden. Marco, Jose, what do you want to do? Oden looked pale. The next second, ping ring ring, Marco and the other captains attacked without mercy. He just punched and kicked Oden. The beating turned Oden's head into a pig's head. Dad, look at it, is this almost it? Marco said. Idiot, he is also a famous person in Julie. How can he meet people when he is beaten like this? Whitebeard said worriedly. Alas alas, Dad, that's not what you said when you came here. Yeah, didn't you mean? Shut up. Whitebeard blushed and quickly stopped. Hey, Oden, who was beaten into a pig's head, was not annoyed at all. Instead, he smiled innocently. Bai Xiaoji, thank you for your concern. Oden smiled happily. Shut up, who cares about you anymore? Whitebeard doesn't admit it. Blonde hair is a Tsunere, so stop pretending. Kazuki Oden spoke with a sigh. What did you say? Whitebeard frowned. Kazuki Oden, who was still unaware of the danger, said to himself. I have read some interesting overseas novels, and the blonde female characters in the books are all Tsunere, but Yukichi, you don't care about men. Boom. Before Kazuki Oden could finish his words, he stopped abruptly. Provoking Whitebeard once again, he received the 750th 3 beatings today. Dad, forget it, it's almost done, Marco and the others said unbearably. By the way, what happened to Captain Oden today? Why do you keep dancing in the minefield? Everyone in the second division was puzzled. Master Oden, is Dao okay? Izo frowned worriedly. It's okay, no problem. Oden forced himself to wink. He didn't care at all about the injuries on his face. On the contrary, my mood improved. Jump repeatedly across the edge of the minefield to irritate Whitebeard. This was all intentional on Oden's part. Because for the Whitebeard pirates, Kazuki Oden also felt extremely guilty in his heart. He felt so guilty that he wanted to beat himself up. So now this result couldn't be better. Chapter 253. Let go of the past. Target Ghost Island. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe. Close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Hey, Marco, go and treat that idiot. Whitebeard spoke angrily, glancing at the pig-headed Oden. The resentment in his heart disappeared without knowing when. Even if he wanted to be angry again, he couldn't get angry anymore. Okay. Marco took the lead. Come to Oden. A flick of the finger. Several blue phoenix flames fell on Oden's wounds. Although it cannot be completely cured, but it can provide some relief. At least it is very effective in reducing swelling. Quickly, Oden's swollen pig-headed face returned to normal. Marco, as the ship's doctor, bandaged it symbolically. After a few K-bands were applied, the treatment was completed. Bai Xiaoji, shut up. Kazuki Oden's fourth suicide attempt was stopped early by Whitebeard. Kazuki Oden rubbed his hands in embarrassment as his intention was seen through. At this time, Lord Oden, meow, wow, it's really Dad and the others. From the direction of the dense forest at the port, the sounds of cats and dogs were heard. Neko Viper and Anuarashi, who had accompanied Oden on board the Moby Dick, arrived first. Wait until you see the Whitebeard pirates on the coast. Both the cat and the dog have very bright eyes. Marco, Josie, Saki, Bista. And Yi Zhang, everyone, long time no see. Neko Viper and Anuarashi flew forward happily. Like Oden not too long ago. Oh, aren't these Neko Viper and Anuarashi? I haven't seen you in a few years, but you guys have grown older again. Ha ha ha, come on. Let me try your hand quickly. Cat Viper, you are really becoming more and more mellow. Yes, it feels better than before. All the pirates in the white group greeted him happily. With the arrival of Neko Viper and Anuarashi, only then did the calm atmosphere at the port finally break. The atmosphere is harmonious. It's back to how we used to go out on adventures together. Lord Oden, as that, the pirate group that Oden-sama once belonged to. The Whitebeard pirates and Izo are back too. Brother Izo. Kinemon, Denjiro, Shudenmaru, Kokiku and other Akasaka retainers arrived. A Jew, the captain of the 16th Division, Izo, had red eyes, strode forward and gave his brother a big hug. Brother Yizang, really, I'm really worried after being gone for so many years. Xiaoju, who has a male body and a female heart, burst into tears. Sorry, a Jew. Izo gently patted his brother's back. Anyway, Yi Zhang, welcome back. Click, click, click. He-song smiled happily. Lord Oden, why are the gentlemen of the Whitebeard pirates here? Kinemon and Denjiro asked in confusion. Does that need to be said? Bai Xiaoji and the others are of course the strongest reinforcements. Kazuki Oden said, oh, this is really reliable. Raizo was excited. Kanjuro's expression on the side suddenly darkened slightly. As the internal agent of Kurozumi Orochi, he certainly doesn't want Kazuki Oden to win this founding battle. We must find a way to spread this news to Onigashima. However, without waiting for Kanjuro to make any move. Hey, Oden, Whitebeard spoke. What's going on? Bai Xiaoji. Whitebeard asked. I've probably already learned the details. I don't want to get involved in your Wano-kuni's national affairs, but leave that brat guy to me. Whitebeard said. No, Bai Xiaoji, I want to go to YG Island too. Oden said solemnly. According to reliable information, not only Kaido, there is another monster on Ghost Island, who has formed an alliance with Kaido. Another monster. Linlin. Whitebeard raised his eyebrows and guessed. No, it's Golden Lion Shiki. Oden said. Whitebeard's pale golden eyes narrowed slightly. That old lion really doesn't stop for a moment. Chapter 254 Super Buster Call to Onigashima Open Black Lens Bracket. Please subscribe close Black Lens Bracket. Advertise here. Wano-kuni Inland Sea. The storm is rising. The waves turned upside down. On top of the rough sea. 5 war-class warships lined up. Sail straight towards the skeleton island in the sea. It's not Marine's flag that's hunting in the wind. But the cross flag of world government. A war-class warship in the center. The bald birthmark 5 elders, representing one of the highest powers in the world, stands on the bow of the ship. With his hands behind his back, he looks high-spirited, hockey. In a daze, bald birthmark 5 elders seems to have returned to the prosperous times hundreds of years ago. Before going through many screenings and becoming 5 elders. He is also a powerful military commander. Lead the army to fight across this sea. On 2 warships next to bald birthmark 5 elders. There is an old man standing on each side. An old man who exudes the aura of antiquity, decay, and power. The uniforms they wear are very different from this era. Belongs to the uniforms that have been eliminated in history. If you peek through the tube, you can see a Madara. These 2 old men must be extraordinary. The 2 outermost warships are commanded by the 2 aces of CP0. Each of the 5 war-class warships is guarded by a strong man. Plus a large number of world government experts. This lineup is no longer under Marine Super Buster Call. If the firepower is fully unleashed, it can easily destroy any small island. Lord 5 Elders, we have entered the shooting range of that ghost island. The world government strongman on the observation deck reported. The whole army is ready, open source. Bald birthmark the 5 elders waved their hands and gave orders without mercy. The next second, bang 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 bang, CMDBF. Endless artillery fire exploded. The sky was completely covered by a dense rain of pitch-black shells. Boom, rumble, rumble, violent roars resounded throughout the world. One after another, bright explosion clouds exploded on Ghost Island. The terrifying impact spread, causing the thick clouds above the sky to tremble and show signs of dissipating. It was just the first round of land-washing offensive. The Ghost Island is already riddled with holes. Even the skeleton hull was penetrated by artillery shells and was in a mess. compared to the world government's advanced long-range artillery fire. The Beast's pirates who have not yet invaded Wano are far behind in terms of technology. Their cannons cannot reach the world government warships. However, they had no intention of competing directly with them. Fortunately, among misfortunes, the backside of Onigashima is completely covered by large Uzumaki. Even the world government's war-class warships cannot stand. Therefore, all 5 warships of the world government are located near the main entrance. The shells were unable to reach the back for a while. At this moment, the beast pirates headed by Kaido gathered on the back of the island, listening to the sound of gunfire filling the sky. Like all beasts, the little pirate felt his liver and gallbladder tremble. He looked at Captain Kaido anxiously. Kaido of the beasts looked at the golden lion impatiently. How long do we have to wait? Shiki, if you are scared, you can hide here by yourself, and I will deal with the bastards of the world government. Kaido of the beasts hockey's opening. And the pterodactyl's eyes turned red. Apparently he can't wait to take revenge on the world government. Gia ha 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 ha, don't be so impatient, Kaido. The time will come soon. The golden lion grinned and gently stroked Yamato's little head next to him with his big hand. Lowly Yamato wanted to escape, but couldn't. In the end, he could only look to his father for help. However, Kaido doesn't want to break up with the golden lion at this juncture, so he can only turn a blind eye. He could bear it just as much as touching his head. But if we go one step further, even 2 or 3 steps. As a father, Kaido will never swallow his anger again. Let your daughter be abused by the bad old man. There was another moment of gunfire. Mr. Shiki, what exactly do you mean by timing? Brachiosaurus Quinn finally couldn't help but ask. Golden Lion seemed to feel something, suddenly raised his head and grinned. Looks like it's coming. Follow their line of sight. Everyone in the 100 Beasts group also saw it. The sky in the distance is broken like a mirror. Chapter 255, Encounter at Sea. Whitebeard split the sky with one punch. Advertise here. 10 o'clock in the morning. Wano Inland Sea. A huge whale ship, the Moby Dick pirate ship cuts through the waves. The Whitebeard skull flag hung from the main mast flutters in the wind. On the spacious deck, the atmosphere is solemn. Headed by Whitebeard. 16 division captains lined up in sequence. From the mouth of Oden, the captain of the 2nd division who returned to the team. Everyone in Whitebeard has roughly understood the situation in the country of W. Let's start with the simple and straightforward Kaido and Golden Lion. The next world government needs to be considered in the long term. Bai Xiaoji, thank you for coming this time. Otherwise, I really don't know how to deal with so many problems on my own. Kazuki Oden sighed. If you knew it couldn't be dealt with, why don't you write a letter earlier to ask for help? After we received your letter for help, we hurriedly took our time, and here we are. Whitebeard said angrily. Yeah, Oden, write earlier next time. We don't even have time to rest. Marco, Josie and others echoed. Oden was stunned. Write a letter. What letter? 88. 83. Didn't you write a letter asking us to come over? Marco was also stunned. Kazuki Oden shook his head. I have never written any letters, and there are no newspaper delivery birds in our country that can help me deliver letters. Nani, everyone, including Whitebeard, was shocked. Then if it wasn't you, who sent that letter? Josie's eyes widened in shock. Dad, everyone, you can already see that ghost island. No, there is something wrong. Suddenly, an anxious voice came from the observation deck. That's Marine. No, it's a world government warship. Dad, captains, the world government is conducting artillery bombardment on that ghost island. The White Regiment lookouts reported urgently. Hear the words. Whitebeard and others no longer thought about the source of the letter. They all immediately turned their attention to the direction of Ghost Island. Far away, you can see a few small black spots on the sea. Vaguely, the sound of artillery fire was blown by the strong wind and reached people's ears. A few minutes later, closer, everyone in the Whitebeard pirates finally got to see the true identities of the 5 little black dots. The shape is the same as the marine warship, but the flag of the world government is hung on the mast. At the same time, the Whitebeard pirates discovered the world government warship. The world government also discovered the arrival of the Whitebeard pirates. The news soon reached the ears of the 5 elders. What did you say? The Whitebeard pirates appeared behind us. After hearing the news, the face of the bald old star with birthmarks suddenly became gloomy, as if water was dripping from his face. The previous beast's pirates have not been solved yet. Another super shark came from behind. Continue like this. They may be attacked from both sides. Being attacked from both sides by the pirates. Did Whitebeard also form an alliance with that Kaido? Bald birthmark 5 elders thought to themselves. Thinking of the fact that they were in the same pirate group before. This possibility cannot be said to be impossible. Damn it, I was tricked. But what if we add Whitebeard? We are not completely unprepared this time. It's just 2 pirate groups. Since they are here, let's destroy them together. Bald birthmark 5 elders whispered coldly. Regardless of whether Whitebeard has an alliance with Kaido or not. The pirate Whitebeard appears here. Encounter with them. Then there is only one thing to do. Under the orders of the bald birthmark 5 elders. The rear guns of the 5 war-class warships started firing at the same time. Bang 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 bang. The sound of artillery firing came and went, one after another. The endless rain of pitch-black cannonballs covered the Whitebeard pirates and Moby Dick. At this time, only a loud, dong, sound was heard. The atmosphere cracks. The sky changes color. That's Whitebeard taking action. One punch, the sky is split. Chapter 256. The devastating shock fruit ability. Please subscribe. Advertise here. Bang 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 bang. Endless tongues of fire. Countless artillery shells gathered into rain, shooting towards the smiling whale ship Moby Dick. Hey, 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 this is really a grand welcome ceremony. Marco, the captain of the first team, grinned, raging. His body burned with blue flames. Marco transformed into a phoenix. The body rotates. Blue flame Uzumaki intercepted all the incoming cannonballs. Tisk tisk, speaking of which, the range of world government's artillery shells is really far. 657, commander of the 10th Division, Cooley Air said. Yes, our Moby has to go at least another 100 meters to reach it. They want to sink Moby before we get close. It's a really good calculation, but it's still far from enough. We are the Whitebeard pirates. Don't underestimate us. Captain Josie of the 3rd Division, Bista of the 5th Division, Lucio of the 7th Division. All the White Regiment captains used their abilities to eliminate all the cannonballs. Unable to cause the slightest damage to the whale ship Moby Dick. Ah ha 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 ha, you are worthy of everyone. Your methods are really getting better and better. Kazuki Oden laughed. For the Whitebeard pirates, the battle-hardened tyrant of the ocean. A mere artillery shell attack, of course, is not a problem at all. However, always being passively defensive is not the style of the overlord of this sea. Hoo la 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 la. The bow of the whale ship, the last king of the sea, Whitebeard Edward Newgate, laughed boldly. Kang. The supremely sharp sword in Whitebeard's hand, Kong Yunshi, stabbed into the bow of the whale. Crash. The captain's cloak behind him was flapping. Oh, it's finally about to begin. Dad's show time. World government bastards, prepare to tremble. It's finally time for us to return the favor. On the deck, all the white pirates shouted excitedly. Amidst the shouts of the crowd, Whitebeard's waist sank slightly on the bow of the whale. The sandbag-sized fist was clenched and swung out at a seemingly slow speed, landing in the atmosphere. As a result, the world shook violently at this moment. This seemingly ordinary punch turned out to be a terrifying scene like a natural disaster. Kakaka. A crisp cracking sound sounded. The atmosphere shattered. White cracks visible to the naked eye were densely packed, spreading out like spider webs. Wherever you go, the sky collapses. The sea breaks. The water flows back. The turbulent sea cracked under the terrifying shock force of ultimate and turned into huge water masses one after another. The world government war-class warship originally stood firmly in the middle of the sea. Even Ghost Island is surrounded by many high and low waters. This is the ability that ranks among the strongest in Paramesha. The devastating shock fruit ability. Rumble. A scene like the end of the world is taking place at this moment. Whitebeard Edward Newgate's strongest ability, Paramesha Shock Fruit Ultimate Move explodes. The unparalleled vibration force centered on Whitebeard and spread outward, shattering the atmosphere and sky. The Wano-kuni inland sea has experienced unprecedented stormy waves. Even the world government's war-class warships. In this big wave, it is like a small boat that may capsize at any time. On the world government warship, people screamed in horror and despair one after another. What kind of power is this? This is Whitebeard Edward Newgate. How on earth are we going to fight this kind of monster? Master Five Elders, what should we do next? The warships were in chaos. House seemingly endless rain. The next second, the horrific scene happened again. Rumble. There was a dull roar of thunder from deep in the sky. Between heaven and earth, the wind and clouds are turbulent. Thick 3.6 layers of dark clouds filled the sky. Sky clouds Uzumaki turn. It seemed like something huge was about to appear. The high-pitched and loud roar of the dragon exploded from behind the thick clouds, resounding throughout the world. Cemetery. The movement of thick clouds in the sky came to a standstill. A huge hole opened in the middle of the Uzumaki clouds. Two long whiskers penetrated the clouds and stirred up the wind and clouds. What appeared next was the huge green dragon head. No. Gia ha 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 ha. Chapter 257 Golden Lion's Speech. Invite Oden. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. No. Accompanied by high-pitched and loud laughter. A huge ferocious dragon head slowly poked out from the thick clouds Uzumaki. From a high position, overlooking the 6 ships on the sea. Look to the sky. What kind of creature is that? What? The legendary dragon. Does this kind of creature really exist? The white group pirates who saw Qinglong for the first time were all shocked and speechless. Wrong. Marco, the captain of the first team, stopped drinking. That's the same Phantom Beast ability user as Marco. Foil Beasta, captain of the 5th Division, said. Kaido of the Beasts, blue dragon form. The captain of the 3rd Division, Diamond Josie, was ready. So that's it, this is the dragon that appeared in Flower Capital 23 this morning. He is indeed a pirate. Kazuki Oden pulled out the twin swords of Tien Yuzan and Enmo from his waist. Always be prepared to imitate the sword god Ryoma and slay the dragon with the sword. Dad, captains, look at the top of that dragon's head. There seems to be a person standing on top of it. The observer on the observation deck suddenly spoke. The next second, Gia ha 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 ha, Whitebeard and the captains burst into unruly laughter. A tall figure with hair as lush as a lion's mane rose into the sky. It spun several times in midair. Finally, it landed firmly on the mast of the Moby Dick. Golden Lion Shiki, that big flying pirate. It's actually here. Did he really form an alliance with that Kaido? Marco, Josie and others all looked solemn. Hoo la 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 la. Whitebeard laughed deeply. Gia ha 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 ha. Golden Lion also laughed. Shiki, you old lion, your words really sound like farts. Whitebeard spoke unceremoniously. The expression on Golden Lion's face softened slightly. When you escaped from Impel Down, you said you were going to hibernate for a while, but in the blink of an eye you went to Ohara, and now you appear in Wano. What are your intentions? Whitebeard asked in a deep voice. Gia ha ha ha, of course people have to do different things at different stages, Whitebeard. The Golden Lion grinned. All my current activities are for a grand comeback in the future. Of course, if there is a better way, I don't want to run around here and there. Golden Lion Shiki, you formed an alliance with Kaido, come on Wano, what do you want to rob? Kazuki Oden clenched his swords tightly and shouted loudly. Golden Lion gave an unexpected answer, of course I am trying to steal you. Me, Kazuki Oden was stunned, I'm not a treasure, nor am I a beauty. But you have the most precious treasure in the world, don't you? The Golden Lion grinned and stretched out his big hand towards Kazuki Oden. Come on, Oden, become my right arm. As long as you agree, I can guarantee that Wano will be safe and sound. If you have been to that island with Roger, you must know the truth about the ancient weapon, the truth about the world, and the location of the great secret treasure. Let's work together to first obtain the great secret treasure, then make the truth of the world known to the public, and finally use the ancient weapon to completely subvert this boring world. Golden Lion delivered his speech impassionedly. The words fell. The vast sea area suddenly fell into deathly silence. A good moment. Hey, Shiki, it's different from what you said. Blue Dragon form Kaido is anxious. Asshole Golden Lion, you evil gangster, you are really obsessed with the ancient weapon. I will never let your plot succeed. Bald Birthmark 5 Elders scolded harshly. The whale ship Moby Dick. The eyes of Marco, Josie, Beasta and others all fell on Oden. Finally, Oden spoke. Golden Lion, no matter what you say, I have only one answer, and that is no. And don't even think about doing anything to this country, because now I have the most reliable partners by my side. Chapter 258, Hunting 5 Elders. Golden Lion Whitebeard forms an alliance. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. No matter how many times, my answer is no, I will never be your partner, Golden Lion. Because now I have the best brothers in the world gathered around me. Kazuki Oden said firmly. Oh. Everyone in the Whitebeard Pirates cheered in unison. Give up, Golden Lion. That's all Roger, you are absolutely impossible. That's right, wanting Captain Oden to be your partner is simply a wishful thinking. Gia ha ha ha, Golden Lion's expression darkened slightly. Exactly the same as Roger, just as stubborn. In this case, there is nothing we can do. Whitebeard's pale golden eyes narrowed slightly, and a light of shock appeared on his fists. Gia ha ha ha, don't be so tense, business cannot be done with justice, and besides, today we are not just a business. Golden Lion Shiki laughed and soared into the sky. What exactly do you want to say? Whitebeard asked. Hey, Newgate, do you, the Whitebeard Pirates, want to join me? Golden Lion said. Aha. Marco and the others screamed in surprise. The expressions on every face are full of absurdity. It was like hearing the funniest joke in the world. Failed to invite Oden. Now, they have been invited to the Whitebeard Pirates. Hula la la la, Shiki, you are really. Don't refuse in a hurry, Whitebeard, and don't get me wrong, my previous invitation was only for today. Golden Lion Shiki's eyes immediately fell on the world government's warship. Not only Kaido and I, the bastards from the world government have also set their sights on this country, and even dispatched the 5 elders. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Nani. Upon hearing the words, 5 elders, everyone in the white group couldn't help but turn pale with shock. Golden Lion, you bastard. Bald Birthmark. The 5 elders' expressions gradually became ferocious, and an ominous premonition arose in their hearts. The 5 elders, who are high above us and stand at the top of the world's power, are usually invisible. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Come on, Whitebeard, let's put aside the grudges between us for the time being, and let's happily hunt the 5 elders first. You have never done such a thing, right? The curve of Golden Lion Shiki's mouth almost reached to his ears. Dad, what should we do? Marco and other captains looked at Whitebeard, who was in deep thought in shock. It's exactly what you said. Finally, Whitebeard made his decision. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity cannot be missed, so let's start with world government, and then you and Kaido. Whitebeard hockey's opening. Gia ha 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 ha, if you can do it, just try it. Golden Lion laughs. The other side. Seeing the two legends, Golden Lion and Whitebeard reached an agreement to hunt the 5 elders. World Government Center's warship. The expression on the face of the bald old star with birthmarks suddenly turned gloomy, as if water was dripping from his eyes. The current situation is extremely bad for them. What I thought was a foolproof move. There would be such a shocking change. Even the bald five elders couldn't help but start to panic at this moment. Because if he doesn't get it right, he may really have to explain it here today. Zhao Qian's five elders. Five elders, should we retreat temporarily? The world government guards and CP experts were also in panic. After all, what they are facing now is probably the strongest pirate alliance in the world. Bald birthmark five elders' eyes twinkling. Don't wait to open your mouth. The next second, I saw a terrifying hot breath coming from the sky one after another. Easily smashing a world government war-class warship into pieces. That's Qinglong Kaido taking action. Chapter 259. Paramesh's Reflection Fruit Ability. Please subscribe. Advertise here. Stop being lazy. Kaido, do it. Golden Lion shouted and ordered. I told you I'm not your subordinate, don't give me orders. Qinglong Kaido roared dissatisfied, but the body responded very honestly. I saw his mouth wide open. A bit of lava-like light shines from the deepest part of its throat. The green dragon's hot breath, which is enough to crack mountains and crack rocks, explodes. Damn, everyone abandoned ship. The commander of a world government war-class warship at the edge was stunned. However, there was no choice but to make a decisive decision and escape with hundreds of ships. Boom, boom, the green dragon's hot breath fell from the sky. It penetrated the solid warship deck with ease. Then the entire warship was blown apart. Ah, piercing screams suddenly broke out. Those strong CP men who stepped on the moonwalk and tried to counterattack 987 were affected by the scorching air of the heat breath. It screamed and fell like dumplings, and was eventually swallowed by the boiling sea. This is not the end. After taking out a warship, Kaido, who still had enough strength left, raised his dragon head slightly. The terrifying heat breath was like a flaming blade, slashing towards the second adjacent war-class warship. Everyone get out of the way. On the bow of the warship, an old man exuding a rotten atmosphere strode forward. Forming seals with both hands, a light curtain-like water waves was generated. Next moment, a shocking scene occurred. I saw the hot breath emitting straight from Kaido's mouth the moment it touched the light screen. The angle suddenly shifted. Reflection. The rotten old man shouted. Paramesh's reflection fruit ability activates. But there was no way back. Under the control of the reflective old man, the burning dragon's breath was sent to the whale ship Moby Dick where the Whitebeard pirates were located. Nani? Why? What did the world government people do? Asshole Kaido. Stop it. The white pirates, led by Marco, Josie and other captains, were all shocked. Crucial moment. Whitebeard strode forward. The supreme sharp sword Kong Yunchi rotates like a whirlwind. Form an airtight wall, strongly blocking all the refracted scorching dragon breath. Jia ha 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 ha. It seems that your world government is well prepared this time. Golden Lion laughs. Snort. Bald birthmark five elders snorted coldly. It's not certain who will win today. You, CDAH, evil party, please all wake up. This trip to Wano Kuni, although they did not notify Marine's combat forces to intervene. But world government is not a vegetarian either. 800 years of domination. The foundation of world government is far stronger than any other country or force in the world. There are also a group of admiral-level experts sealed away. The old man who reflected on this trip and the old man on the other warship are one of the foundations of world government. The frozen one awakened from the ice. Their strength is among the best in their respective eras. Even if you are old and frail, you will not be as good as before. Relying on their own powerful devil fruit abilities. It can also explode into admiral-level powerful combat power in a short period of time. Except them, plus the leader of this generation of CP0. Finally, there are the highest powers both openly and secretly. This war is still going to be fought. Think of this. Bald birthmark five elders' inner panic disappeared. The breath all over my body gradually calmed down. It seems they still have the will to resist. If so, then continue to bring them despair, Newgate. The corner of Golden Lion Shiki's mouth raised a subtle arc. You don't need to talk about this kind of thing. Whitebeard glanced at the Golden Lion. Duh. The supreme sharp knife pierced the whale's bow through the clouds. Whitebeard turned his hands into claws and clawed at the atmosphere. From top to bottom, pull hard. The devastating Paramesha shock fruit ability, Lu. In an instant, the sky collapsed. Chapter 260 Whitebeard, Golden Lion, Beasts vs. World Government. Please subscribe. Advertise here. Paramesha shock fruit ability, burst. In an instant, the sky collapsed and the sea split. The world government's war-class warships continued to make overwhelmed rattling sounds. Floating up and down in the broken sea, as if it might capsize at any moment. But the world government is not completely powerless to fight back. Being able to survive the sea earthquake caused by Whitebeard without capsizing is enough to demonstrate their power. In the camp of world government, there are people with special abilities. Somehow reducing the impact of Whitebeard's sea quakes. Jia ha 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 ha, let me help you. Golden Lion laughed. The figure shot out like a ghost. The right hand taps lightly on the warship of world government. Lion fruit ability, mark completed. See this. Bald birthmark. The calmness on the faces of the five elders is finally gone. What emerged instead was deep shock, anger and shock. Everyone, prepare to land. Bald birthmark. The five elders gave orders repeatedly. 4 world government warships rode the broken sea currents and sailed crazily towards the ghost island. Jia ha 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 ha, how could it be possible for you to log in so easily? Golden Lion laughed. A wave of his right hand. 4 warships floated in the sky together. Turning your hands makes the clouds cover your hands with rain. As the Golden Lion's palms turned over, the 4 warships all turned upside down. His head and feet were heavily smashed into the sea. Ah, the screams came one after another again. Countless powerful people in the government are falling like dumplings. The strong person who has learned the 6 movements quickly stepped on the moonwalk to land. Many more fell into the rough sea. Those without abilities can still struggle to swim towards the shore. If you are capable, if there are no others to help you. It sank on the spot and became food for the sea beasts. After some tossing, finally, less than half of the world government's powerful people have successfully survived and landed on Ghost Island. But compared to the beasts' pirates and Whitebeard pirates, the remaining half of the troops were still far more numerous than their number. There is nothing to say. Today's bloody battle is inevitable. Hoo la 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 la. Haki's hearty laughter suddenly came from the sky. A tall figure of more than 6 meters crossed the night sky, coming forcefully with an unparalleled domineering aura. Boom. The ruined Onigashima coast was shaken. Terrifying large cracks spread in all directions. Naturally, the only person who appears in Haki is the tyrant of the sea, Whitebeard Edward Newgate. Wow. The huge whale ship breaks through the rough sea. Follow up with indomitable momentum. Such. Kazuki Oden, the daimyo of Curry and the captain of the 2nd Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, took the lead. Please give me flowers. Falling from the sky, it landed next to Whitebeard, shoulder to shoulder. Raging. The blue line of fire circled in midair. Finally landed next to Whitebeard. The captain of the first team, Phoenix Marco, was also in place. Then came Diamond Josie, captain of the 3rd Division, Saki, the captain of the 4th Division, Foil Beasta, the captain of the 5th Division, until Izo, the captain of the 16th Division. The captain of the Whitebeard Pirates, 16 division captains, and more than 1,000 ordinary members all landed on Ghost Island. 0. Face the world government's army of tens of thousands of people. Gia ha 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 ha. Unruly laughter echoed throughout the sky. The Golden Lion holds his arms, looking down from a high position. No, 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 no. Xinglong Kaido's hundreds of meters long dragon body hovers above the skull, leaving Haki sideways. At his side, the masters of the beast group such as Winged Dragon Jin and Brachiosaurus Quinn are also ready to take their positions. Newgate, Kaido, fighting together like this. Last time we were on the Island of Gods, what a coincidence, this time it's the turn of the Island of Ghosts. Golden Lion Shiki laughed. Stop talking nonsense. After the world government is dealt with, you will be next. Whitebeard glanced at the Golden Lion faintly. Gia ha 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 ha, let's start quickly. Boom. Rumble. Rumble. The all-out war between Whitebeard, Golden Lion, the beasts and the world government has officially begun. Chapter 261 Total War. Shock versus Reflection. Advertise here. No, come on, world government, this is my return gift this morning. Blue dragon form Kaido's dragon's mouth is wide open. A light as intense as lava lit up from deep in its throat. Hot breath. Machine gun. Countless bullet-like small thermal bombs flew out of Kaido's dragon mouth. Conduct AoE bombing on the battlefield indiscriminately. The heat is exhausted. Bad winds follow closely behind. The swarms of wind blades chop the bodies of the world government soldiers into pieces. Tornado bad wind. Thunder. 537. The various AoE ultimate moves that come with the fantasy beast Xinglong are rampant. Ordinary world government soldiers have no power to fight back. In such a large-scale war, Xinglong Kaido is a huge threat. Certainly, this is the battlefield now. Kaido is not alone. On destructive power and threats, Whitebeard should be far superior. The supreme sharp sword Kong Yunchi swung. Send out a terrifying shock wave. Each strike can easily sweep away dozens or hundreds of people. This is the terrifying combat power of Whitebeard at his peak. Open and closed horizontally and vertically, no one can defeat it. Kazuki Oden, who also reached the imperial level, fought even more risklessly. After all, this is his country. Whether it's Kaido of the beasts or world government. He didn't welcome any of it. All are targets for expulsion. Once he takes action, Oden won't hold back at all. Besides, the performance of other white team captains such as Marco, Josie, and Beasta was also remarkable. In contrast, the 100 Beasts group is a bit uneven. Winged Dragon Jin can be considered as trying his best. After all, the world government is also the mortal enemy of his clan. On the other side, Brachiosaurus Quinn and others, even though they were powerful, were still suspected of paddling. The fierce battle lasted 10 minutes. The world government, which had the numerical advantage, was actually suppressed and at a disadvantage. Find out why. Naturally, it has something to do with the top combat power watching the show. Bald Birthmark 5 Elders frowned slightly. He looked at the powerful people who were protecting him. You guys go and fight too. Bald Birthmark 5 Elders ordered. But 5 Elders, on your side. I'm fine here. Don't underestimate me. Bald Birthmark 5 Elders said categorically. KKK, since the 5 Elders have said so, let's go, old man. The person with the Paramesha reflection fruit ability grinned. You are a strong man of the sea in this era. I would like to give it a try. How does it compare with our era? Another elderly man also gave a subtle smile. 2 old men with a rotten air walked slowly towards Whitebeard. If you want to get close to Dad, you'd better get past me first. Several white pirates noticed the strange movements of the old people. Immediately shoot, fire, or swing a knife, killing in a fierce manner. However, their bullets, cannonballs and even swords. He paused suddenly before touching the old people. Then the reflection suddenly reversed at a doubling speed. Ah! The white pirate screamed and flew upside down. The change is here. Whitebeard obviously saw it. The supreme sharp sword Kong Yunchi rotates like a whirlwind. A raging wind whipped up, blowing away all the surrounding enemies. At some point, Whitebeard tightened his grip suddenly. A circle of white vibrating light waves appeared on the blade of the Naginata Kong Yunchi. At Whitebeard's wave, with a terrifying aura as powerful as breaking a mountain, he struck down at the two old men who were walking towards him. KKK. Facing Whitebeard, this was a blow that could shatter the mountain. Reflecting on his reflection, the old man still just smiled conspiratorially. There was no trace of fear on his old face, which was as old as a ghost. He formed a seal with his hands, making a specific gesture. A transparent light curtain formed in front of him. Boom! Whitebeard's supreme sword slashed through the clouds. The transparent light curtain instantly rippled like water waves and trembled violently. However, it never exploded. The tyrant of the sea, Whitebeard, was the one who dominated the world with a shocking strike. It was unexpectedly accepted by an old man in such an understatement. This scene can be called extremely shocking. Chapter 262 Whitebeard was injured. How to crack. Reflection. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe close black lens bracket. Advertise here. How is this possible? Dad's attack was actually blocked. What exactly is going on? Who the hell is that old guy? What did he do? The white pirates and even Marco and other captains who witnessed this scene couldn't help but be shocked. KKK, are you already scared? The real show is yet to come. The reflexive old man grinned. The transparent light curtain that gradually stabilized suddenly shone brightly. The next second, the power of Whitebeard's world-dominating sword was reflected intact from the light curtain. Whitebeard's expression changed slightly, even himself. Without defense, it's also uncomfortable to be counterattacked with all your strength. The supreme sharp knife 23 Kong Yunchi was raised high. The terrifying shock that followed caused Whitebeard's hands holding the knife to tremble violently. In the end, even the tiger's mouth was shattered, and blood poured out. Ah, Dad is injured. How is this possible? The people of the Whitebeard pirates let out even more incredible screams than before. It is absolutely unbelievable that that little-known old man could actually injure his father with one blow. Daddy, Marco yelled, rushed back immediately, wanted to see Whitebeard's injuries. Hula la la la, who do you think I am, Marco? Whitebeard pushed Marco away. He didn't care at all about the injuries in the tiger's mouth. His pale golden eyes locked on the reflective old man. Although I don't know who you are, I already know enough about your abilities. Whitebeard said solemnly, Paramesha reflection fruit, this is my invincibility. Reflecting on the old man's initiative to reveal information about his abilities. This is arrogance. At the same time, it is also out of absolute confidence in one's own abilities. In front of my reflexes, any attack is useless. In other words, the stronger my opponent, the happier I am. How's it going? It shouldn't feel good to be hurt by your own power. The old man reflected proudly and laughed. Paramesha reflection fruit. Do you still have this ability? Any attack will be reflected, just do it randomly. But even Dad's attack was bounced back. Not only is it an absolute defense, but it can also be fully counterattacked. This is simply an upgraded version of the barrier fruit's ability. The captains of the white group all looked solemn. Deeply understand the difficulty of this ability. Hoo la 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 la. Suddenly, Whitebeard laughed. What's so funny? Reflecting on the old man's face, his face darkened slightly. What a boring ability, Whitebeard teased. To deal with an old guy like you who only has his abilities left, my weakest son is enough. What did you say? The old man was furious. Yes, I understand. Marco, the captain of the first team, also reacted. A quick glance. He targeted an intern who had just arrived. Captain Marco, that is a being that can even rebound Dad's attacks. Can I really do that? The intern spoke weakly. Okay, you don't need to take it too seriously, just treat it as casual and do it as easily as you want. While encouraging, Marco confiscated all the weapons from the interns. Alas, the 457 intern was so scared that he cried. Just think that the captain wants him to die. What are you thinking about? This is your practice, so go ahead. Marco nudged the intern. The matter has reached this point, and the arrow has to be fired. The intern had no choice but to punch the reflexive old man. Not surprisingly, his fist was blocked by a light curtain. His power came from the light curtain. It was knocked backwards several steps. You let such a brat fight with me, are you looking down on me? Reflecting the old man's cold opening. That's right, what's wrong with you? Marco grinned. Your ability will be strong when it is strong, and weak when it is weak. If this is the case, why should we waste time and energy on you? Next, I will trouble you to accompany our interns to have a good sparring session. Chapter 263. Paramesha Twisted Fruit Power User, please subscribe. Advertise here. The ability to reflect any attack. Paramesha reflects the fruit's ability. When you are strong, you are strong. When you are weak, you are weak. There is no upper limit, and there is also no lower limit. This ability seems powerful, but in a large-scale war, it can be easily cracked. Just find an opponent that is relatively weak enough. No matter how convenient and powerful it is. If you want to use it, you will need to consume your own physical strength. As long as the old man keeps using the worry reflex. Any consumption can consume him to death. Certainly. Want this. There is also an important prerequisite. That is, those with reflex abilities have no other means of attack except reflection. Fortunately, the people with reflexes that Bai Tuan faced now were already old and out of shape. In addition to the strongest launch capability, all body functions are close to failure. The taijutsu and haki of his youth are no longer capable of triggering. I see. As expected of Captain Marco, his head turns really fast. Yes, I really thought this old guy was invincible for a while. I didn't expect that the method to crack this ability would be so simple. Newcomers, come on. The people of the Whitebeard pirates laughed easily one after another. Yes, seniors, I will work hard. The intern felt like crying. I never expected that the first time I was placed with high hopes was because I was weak enough. But think differently. This is an opponent that even Dad can't defeat. If he can break it, bring it on. The intern stared at the reflective old man menacingly. Damn you kid, don't get carried away. On reflection, the old man took out 2 guns from his arms and fired accurately. Such a change was far beyond the intern's expectations. The bullet was about to hit. Raging, blue flames ignited in front of him. Captain Marco, don't worry, newcomer, I won't let you die in vain. In addition, everyone should pay attention. This guy seems to be able to transfer the power of others to other people. Isolate him and don't let him borrow his power. Marco reminded. Oh. All the white group elites responded in unison. Gia ha. Whitebeard, your son is quite capable. Golden Lion praised. Hula la, this is not a matter of course. Whitebeard agreed without humility. The front foot just responds. The next second, only a loud rumbling sound was heard exploding from not far away. The Emperor-level expert Kazuki Oden spun upside down and hit the rock wall heavily. Oden, Captain Oden, what exactly is going on? What did you breed first? What the hell did this old guy do? This guy is also a monster user. All the pirates in the white group couldn't help but turn pale with shock. His eyes were fixed on the rotten old man who had knocked Oden away with a blow not far away. Tisk. The next second, a strange scene occurs. I saw the rotten old man's body flickering twice like a screen of snowflakes. Then he disappeared from people's sight. Here it comes again. Careful, this old guy has the ability to become invisible. All the pirates in the white group are alert. Coming towards me. Marco's vision captured the terrifying aura sneaking towards him. Wow, the Phoenix appears in person. Phoenix Seal. Marco unleashed his strongest power without mercy. But he didn't wait to collide with the rotten old man in the dark. The next second, Marco felt that the atmosphere around his bird's claw suddenly rotated and twisted. Boom. Under that unparalleled twisting power, Marco's bird claw exploded. Marco. Captain Marco. How so? What kind of ability is this? Everyone in the white group couldn't help but scream in shock. First it was Kazuki Oden, captain of the second team, and then Marco, the first team captain. He actually made the squad captains at the front of him frustrated one after another. This power cannot be underestimated. Tisk. A flickering reappearance like a screen of snowflakes. The figure of the decayed old man is looming. Your ability is not invisibility, but something similar to twisted power. Marco made his own decision. Chapter 264 Teaming up with Whitebeard to kill 5 elders. Open black lens bracket. Please subscribe. Close black lens bracket. Advertise here. Your ability is not invisibility, but something similar to twisted power. Marco spoke solemnly. What a smart kid. You guessed it right. I am a twisted person who ate the twisted fruit and can twist everything in the world. The twisted old man spoke quietly. Twisted fruit power user. Another fruit I've never heard of. But this attack power is really incredible. Yeah, even Captain Oden was knocked away. Besides, how is this invisibility achieved? I know this. He must have distorted the light shining on himself to achieve the effect of invisibility. That's right, it's not that he's invisible, it's that our eyes can't receive the light from him. I see. The people in the Whitebeard pirate group were all talking about it, revealing the secret of the twisted old man's ability. Oh, it's exposed. This is really not good. The twisted old man smiled sinisterly. It's not a good thing to say. But the old face showed no concern at all. Because he is very confident in his abilities. It's such a dangerous ability, so you will never be allowed to get close to Dad. As expected, it's better for me to deal with you. Marco said, and the broken bird's claws instantly returned to their original state. The phoenix with the strongest resilience among the zone phantom species, the compatibility between your and my abilities CDFJ doesn't seem to be very good. The twisted old man smiled. Wait a minute, Marco, let me kill this guy. Kazuki Oden, who had never been hit before and was driven into the rock wall by the twisting force, broke free. Regardless of the physical damage, he rushed back as soon as possible. He wants to decide the outcome with the twisted old man. Oden, this opponent is not suitable for you. You don't need to waste extra energy on him. Besides, don't forget your identity. You have to go back to lead the warriors. Marco said. Marco is right. Diamond Josie, captain of the 3rd division, strode over. And Marco, this opponent is not suitable for you either, so let me do it. Josie grinned. Josie. Marco was stunned. The next second. Amazing light shines. That's when Joe's activated his Paramesha Shining Fruit ability. His body was transformed from flesh and blood into the hardest material in the world, diamond. Come on, old guy, I want to see if your ability can distort my diamond body. Josie walked towards the twisted old man confidently. See this. The calmness on the twisted old man's face were no longer there. If you were facing Marco, the Phoenix, he is confident that he can crush him all the way. Until Marco could no longer heal, recover. But if the opponent is replaced by the toughest Josie, how effective his distortion power is already uncertain. If he were in his prime when he was young, he would naturally have nothing to fear. Even diamonds have to be twisted. But in this current situation. Sparkling crash. Josie entered the form of Diamond King and Laowu and charged at the twisted old man without mercy. The twisted old man's expression suddenly changed, and he quickly twisted Josie's route, passing him by. However, the airflow that followed still caused the old man to stumble and almost fall down. Oh. As expected of Captain Josie. All the pirates in the white group cheered. It's true that Josie is more suitable. Marco nodded. Dad, leave this to us, Dad, just keep your eyes on the ground. Saki said, captain of the 4th Division. Hoo la 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 la. Whitebeard laughed boldly, did not refuse, and strode forward. Old Lion, when do you plan to watch the show? Whitebeard glanced at the Golden Lion in midair. Gia ha ha ha, aren't we waiting for you? Golden Lion laughed in response. In that case, let's go and kill the 5 elders. Chapter 265, Kill 5 Elders. Drop Demon Fragments. Advertise here. Wano-kuni. Ghost Island. War breaks out everywhere. Smoke of gunpowder fills the air. World government, beasts pirates, Whitebeard pirates, and the local samurai of Wano-kuni. The various forces launched an unprecedented melee, which was very lively. Naturally, Whitebeard will not be lazy when it comes to thieves who intend to invade his brother's country. Even though he knew that Golden Lion Shiki had other intentions, he still accepted his invitation and prepared to hunt down the 5 elders. Boom, boom, the sky and the earth trembled violently. That's Whitebeard Edward Newgate using his ability. The heaven-destroying Paramesha Shock Fruit ability. Except for the partially buggy Paramesha ability, almost no one in the world can stop this natural disaster-like force. Thousands of strong government officials guarding the 5 elders, the world's highest power, were beaten to pieces by Whitebeard. Damn it, Whitebeard, you bastard, are you really going to fight to the death with our world government? If I make any mistakes here, there will no longer be a place for your Whitebeard pirates in this sea. The world's highest power with a birthmark on his bald head, Mercury 5 Elders topman drank in a deep voice. Hoo la 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 la, who do you think Lousy is? Lousy is Whitebeard. Whitebeard laughed and punched, and the unparalleled shock wave swept away all the world government personnel who tried to get closer. Shiki, if you are scared, then. Looking at the Golden Lion, Whitebeard in the sky who looked like he was watching a show, he was about to say something sarcastic. But he didn't wait for him to finish. The next second. I saw the Golden Lion wave his hand. A hill suddenly rose from the ground and crashed down towards Mercury 5 Elders topman. Boom, boom. The terrifying impact force shook the entire surrounding island. 5 Elders. Lord 5 Elders. All the world government personnel could not help but scream in fear. Oh, Whitebeard raised his eyebrows in surprise. He originally thought that Golden Lion Shiki wanted to divert trouble to the east. I dare not take action against the highest authority in the world government. So if you want to persuade him to take action, you will reap the benefits. But the development of the situation was beyond his expectation. This Golden Lion Shiki not only made a move, but it was a sure kill as soon as it came. Don't look around, Newgate, the battle is not over yet. Golden Lion reminded lightly. The look on Whitebeard's face changed slightly. Listen to Golden Lion, call him. There was an inexplicable sense of intimacy in his heart for no reason. But the next second, his attention was attracted by the vision on the other side. The world's most powerful 5 elders were not crushed by the hill dropped by the Golden Lion. A dark purple light lit up in a corner of the battlefield. Please give me flowers. A complex and mysterious magic circle was generated out of thin air. Mercury 5 Elders topman's figure slowly emerged from it. And what shocked people even more was that the figure of 5 elders had undergone earth-shaking changes at this moment. His whole body was surrounded by dark black flame clouds, and his whole body seemed to have transformed into a creature from myths and legends. HMPH. Whitebeard, since you want to play, then Koff will play with you to the end. Mercury 5 Elders topman said coldly. After transforming into the awakening state of the Phantom Beast. His self-confidence has also greatly increased. However, I'm afraid you won't have this chance. A faint voice came from behind the Mercury 5 Elders. The Mercury 5 Elders were so shocked that their entire bodies were soaked in cold sweat. However, things that make the 5 Elders even more desperate and angry are yet to come. When he heard the whisper of the Golden Lion, he finally understood everything. Understand who is behind everything. It's you. It's you. It's always been. The screams of the Mercury 5 Elders that were so angry that they broke their voices suddenly stopped. An icy cold light passed over his neck. Poof. Blood spurts. Bone. Heads fell to the ground. The 5 elders, the highest power in the world, die. Along with the head, there is a dark gold card. Devil fragments. Chapter 266 Newgate, I am not the Golden Lion, I can still be your father. Advertise here. Gia ha ha ha, I have taken the heads of the 5 elders. The unruly laughter of Golden Lion plunged the huge Onigashima battlefield into absolute silence. The next second, endless noise and uproar arose. 5 elders. 5 elders were killed. 5 elders were killed. How could such a thing happen? That Golden Lion actually killed 5 elders. The world's highest, 760, power was killed. A major event that has not happened in 800 years has happened. Damn Golden Lion, you damn bastard, what on earth have you done? The 5 elders are dead. None of us will survive. We will all be buried with him. People on the world government side were all frightened and horrified to the extreme. Hey, are you kidding me? That guy from Golden Lion actually did it. I thought he was just joking. Yeah, I originally thought he actually wanted to capture the 5 elders and expose them to the world government. I never expected that he would actually chop up the 5 elders like this. Marco, Josie, Beasta, Saki and other captains of the Whitebeard pirates were also shocked and couldn't help but look at the Golden Lion with admiration. After all, in this world, there are not many people who can kill the 5 elders, the highest power in the world, so cleanly and without hesitation. Even Whitebeard never thought of actually killing the 5 elders. Instead, they want to use the 5 elders to make a deal with the world government so that the government will no longer get involved in Wano Kuni. No. On another battlefield, Kaido of the beasts in the form of a blue dragon suddenly laughed loudly. Golden Lion, I originally thought you were just a bluffing old lion, but I didn't expect you actually did it. Although it's a waste, you are indeed a person. Kaido of the beasts praised without hesitation. Gia ha 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 ha, there are no people who dare not kill the 5 elders who come to their door. Golden Lion laughs. Such arrogant behavior immediately ushered in a general attack from the powerful world government. However, he didn't wait for them to get close. Exclamation mark. The heaven and earth shook violently. That's Whitebeard Edward Newgate taking action. The unparalleled shock wave knocked all the crazy government personnel away. Gia ha ha ha, what's wrong? Newgate, are you subdued by my hockey? Golden Lion. Roger grinned. Who are you? Whitebeard shouted in a deep voice, his eyes locked on Roger without blinking. He and Golden Lion Shiki are also old acquaintances. Based on his understanding of Golden Lion, although that guy acted erratically, he would never be so courageous. After all, the 5 elders are the highest powers in the world after all. Gia ha ha ha, Newgate, what you are asking is a dir. If I am not the Golden Lion, can I still be your father? Golden Lion, Roger said sarcastically without mercy. Hear the words. Everyone in the Whitebeard pirate group was immediately furious. I can't stand the Golden Lion calling himself Father Whitebeard. After all, Whitebeard is their father. Rounding things off, aren't they grandsons? However, compared to the angry white group people, Whitebeard was unusually calm at the moment. He seemed to have noticed something. Ku 2.2 la, let's have a fight. Whitebeard grinned, holding the supreme sharp knife Kong Yunchi, in a fighting posture. Why should I fight you? Golden Lion glanced sideways at Whitebeard. Yeah, the situation in Wano Kuni is too messy now, why don't I come back another day? With these words behind him, the Golden Lion suddenly rose into the sky and disappeared without a trace in the night in the blink of an eye. Chapter 267 Whitebeard, he is indeed a father. Advertise here. Golden Lion ran away. After committing the feat of killing the 5 elders, the highest authority in the world, he ran away without looking back. This sudden turn of events made everyone on the Onigashima battlefield stunned. That bloody bastard. Asshole Golden Lion, he killed us all. I swear, even if I go to the ends of the world, I will never let him go. All the powerful people in the world government are collectively going crazy. As the guardian of the 5 elders, the highest authority in the world. If they failed to protect the 5 elders, returning to Mariajoy would be a dead end. Originally, if they could catch the culprit of crime 23, they might be able to get rid of the crime. Who would have thought that the old lion would run away at the speed of light without respecting martial ethics? Not only the world government, but also the members of the beast group headed by Kaido were also confused at this moment. In the past few days, we had agreed to form an alliance and a united front, but at this critical point, the Golden Lion actually ran away. Gone, that old lion, if he could be trustworthy, even sows would climb trees. Xinglong Kaido cursed. However, the next second, something happened that made him even more maddening. Boss Kaido, something serious has happened. Miss Yamato is missing. Golden Lion. It was Golden Lion who took away the lady. Several beast pirates reported in a hurry, rolling and crawling. Nani. Kaido's eyes suddenly widened. Shiki thief, I will never spare you. The wood is ready. No matter how furious Kaido is, it can't change the result of her daughter being kidnapped and missing. In addition to their daughter's problems, the current chaotic war is also making them anxious. Even with Kaido of the beasts in charge, they are still the weakest among the 3 forces on Onigashima. If the Golden Lion hadn't escaped, they could still have fought hard, but currently facing the crazy world government personnel and the powerful Whitebeard pirates. The Beast's pirates are on the verge of defeat. Another 10 minutes. Dozens of ships landed on Ghost Island. An army of Wano-kuni samurai led by the White Dance Daimyo Shimotsuki Yasui, the Suzugo Daimyo Shimotsuki Ryoma, and the Usagi Daimyo, entered the battlefield. The arrival of the samurai became the last straw for the Beast's pirates and world government personnel. This lively melee that brought together various forces also came to an end. The Beast's pirates escaped with the help of Captain Kaido's Blue Dragon Flame Cloud. All the powerful people in the world government also fled. The next day, noon. Hoo la 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 la. Whitebeard's loud laughter echoed over Oden Castle. In the world of pirates, a grand banquet is inevitable after a victory. Bai Xiaoji, it's really thanks to you this time. Otherwise, this country would be really in danger. Kazuki Oden solemnly thanked him. No, even without me, nothing will happen to this country. Whitebeard laughed. That's right, we were just a little help. Oden, you are here in this country. Oden, your strength is obvious to all. And you Wano-kuni 590 warriors are also top-notch warriors. Marco, Josie, Beasta, Saki and other captains spoke one after another. As long as Dad Whitebeard meant this, they continued to say it. Only, what they don't know is that it's all in their own heads. The reason why Whitebeard dared to assert that nothing would happen to this country was not because he believed in Kazuki Oden's strength. But because long before them, the most legendary person in this sea had already arrived. That's it. It's really you, Dad. Whitebeard couldn't stop nodding. At the same time, just when Wano-kuni is singing and dancing, the sea, especially the world government, has exploded. Chapter 268 Mariajoy is shocked. Naval headquarters is shaken. Advertise here. The top of the red line. Holy Land, Mariajoy. Pangu City, 5 Elders Meeting Hall. What's going on? You're in such a hurry. Saturn, the god of scientific defense, 5 Elders, Satan asked in a deep voice. Did something happen at Wano-kuni? Environment Valkyrie Mars 5 Elders Mark Kamasu's guessed this possibility. With Topman personally going to take charge, what could happen? Didn't news come yesterday that Wano-kuni's general had been taken care of? Financial Marshal God Venus 5 Elders Izan Baron V Naso Langdao. It's about Topman. Something big happened at Wano-kuni yesterday. Topman. Our compatriots were killed. Jupiter 5 Elders Shepherd Tinbit announced the news to the other 5 Elders with a heartbroken look on his face. As his words fell, the huge 5 Elders meeting hall couldn't help but fall silent. The next second, Nani, what did you say? Topman is dead. Topman, the highest authority in the world, was killed. Who did it? The other 5 Elders all widened their eyes in unison and let out almost broken screams. Golden Lion. The flying pirate Golden Lion Shiki. He killed Topman in full view of everyone, and then. Jupiter 5 Elders Pit suppressed the anger in his heart and told this terrible fact. What? Golden Lion Shiki. It's that Golden Lion again. Saturn 5 Elders Satan stood up suddenly in shock. How is it possible? That Golden Lion Shiki, how dare he? How dare he take action against Topman, who is the highest authority? Mars 5 Elders Mark Casmus shouted angrily. The specific situation is still unclear. At present, we only know that Golden Lion Shiki is suspected of joining forces with Kaido, and the Whitebeard pirates also participated in yesterday's battle. The situation was very confusing. Jupiter 5 Elders looked gloomy and informed everyone of the situation. There was another long silence. Now that the deal is done, Topman's death cannot be changed. The top priority is to prevent the news from continuing to leak. One of the world's highest powers was killed by pirates. This will greatly encourage the arrogance of the pirates. Venus 5 Elders Nasuhiro shook his head. Where's the Golden Lion? That guy first took away Ohara's scholars, and now he dares to show his sword at us, who are the highest authority. He most likely has information about the ancient weapon, and he must not let it go. Saturn 5 Elders Satan is decisive and murderous. Of course we can't let it go. We must let that Golden Lion know the price of taking action against the world government. Naval Headquarters, Marineford. Mr. Kong, what happened? Everyone was woken up so early in the morning. Garp yawned lazily. Sit down quickly. Garp, something big has happened. Admiral Sengoku looked solemn. What on earth is going on? Garp restrained himself slightly and realized that the problem this time might indeed be a bit serious. Last night, one of the world's most powerful 5 elders, Wo Choli Sheng, was killed by the flying pirate Golden Lion Shiki in Wano-kuni. Marshal Kong informed the marine executives of this shocking event word for word. The words fell. The huge headquarters combat conference room was quiet at first. Next moment, there was a huge shock and uproar. Nani? What? Golden Lion Shiki killed the 5 elders? How is that possible? That is the highest power in the world. Aren't the 5 elders always in Mariajoy? Why would one of the 5 elders appear in Wano-kuni? What's going on with all this? All the senior executives of Marine could not help but be shocked beyond measure. There is no wall in the world that is airtight, even though the world government and Marine tried their best to eliminate the news. The murder of one of the world's most powerful people is an unprecedented event. The news spread in a small area in the upper sea. A certain floating sky island in the Grand Line. Golden Lion Shiki is sunbathing by the outdoor swimming pool and enjoying the rare afternoon time. However, this beauty soon ceased. When I saw the news from my subordinate Indigo. Golden Lion Shiki's eyes suddenly reached their peak. What? I actually killed the 5 elders, the highest power in the world this time. Damn it, you are really sitting at home, and the pot comes from the sky. Chapter 269. Straw Hat Luffy, the child of destiny, is born. Advertise here. Somewhere in the Grand Line sky, huge islands float under mysterious power. A luxurious palace with an open-air swimming pool in the center of the island. The heroic figure of the old days, the flying pirate Golden Lion Shiki has an ever-changing expression on his face. One moment I was shocked to the point of being stunned, the next moment I was so angry that I was trembling, and the next moment I couldn't help but laugh. Okay, you're playing like this, right? You really won't stop until you kill someone. Golden Lion Shiki clenched and unclenched his fists, feeling angry but helpless. After all, the guy pretending to be him outside is the most untouchable super monster in this sea. He is now very sure that he was able to escape from the Impel Down because of the deliberate connivance of that person. The purpose is to pave the way for major events in the future. For example, the 220 Ohara incident 2 years ago, and the Wano Kuni 5 elders death incident this time. Obviously he is already 100 years old, but he is still so good at playing. What kind of monster is he? Golden Lion Shiki shook his head repeatedly. Anyway, I probably won't be able to show up for a long time in the future. Well, let's take a break for a few years. Golden Lion killed the 5 elders, the highest power in the world. This achievement is unprecedented. Gia ha ha ha. New World. Chinese organizational base. How's the little guy doing? Roger took the towel handed by Orvia and wiped his face. We've basically settled down, and I'm with Robin and Hiyori now. Nicole Orvia answers. That's good. Once she adapts to life here, let Rayleigh and the others be that child's teachers. She's a good candidate. Roger said. After leaving Wano Kuni, Roger took Yamato to the secret base of the Chinese organization. On the way, I also directed a scene in order to let Yamato integrate into the organization naturally. Let the old men of Roger's group form a group to fight off the Golden Lion and save Yin. Master Roger, are you leaving just now? Orvia looked at Roger eagerly. What's wrong? Roger asked with a raised eyebrow in confusion. No, it's Robin and Hiyori. They both miss you very much. Orvia said. Oh, Roger grinned knowingly. He held Orvia in his arms with his big hands. Is it Robin Hiyori who misses me, are you and Toki? Roger smiled. CDFE, Mr. Roger is really. Orvia blushed with embarrassment and tried to refuse but returned the welcome. Because of the retention of Orvia and Tianyu, Roger, who originally planned to stay for 3 days and then leave, stayed for an extra week. After enough to feed Orvia and time, he set off back to Impel Down. The aging Roger was not even given a moment to rest and regain his energy. When he returned to Impel Down, he was immediately attacked by Tia and Miss Witch. In addition, the clone fruit transformed into Roger to replace Shaki, the hero who stayed behind, and also needs rewards. The boss really did something big this time when he went out. Shaki snuggled into Roger's arms and whispered. With her intelligence network, even when Impel is down, she still knows everything about the outside world. It's not bad. It can only be said that he was unlucky and happened to hit the muzzle of the gun. Roger said nonchalantly. He is truly a boss. Shaki praised. Roger is the only one in the world who can ignore killing the 5 elders, the highest authority in the world. We have almost figured out the location of Golden Lion Shiki. Do we want to deal with it? Only the dead can keep secrets better. Shaki asked. Unnecessary. Roger waved. Learn. Shaki said no more. Time flies. Winter passes and spring comes. Time comes to see Circle Calendar 1503. This is a historic era worth remembering. The gears of fate began to turn this year. Because this year is the birth year of Straw Hat Luffy, the destiny child of the world. Chapter 270 Dragon takes care of baby Luffy. Destiny's child into Impel Down. Advertise here. See Circle Calendar 1503. This is a historic year worth remembering. It was from this year that the gears of fate began to turn. The future is 17 years from now. The boy wearing the straw hat will set sail from the East China Sea, bringing unprecedented changes to this dark world. This year is when that destined boy is born. Time passed, it was the 5th day of May. About there, impelling down to the 5.5th floor underground, Roger felt something in his heart and raised the corners of his mouth. What's almost done? Dia and Miss Witch both turned their heads suspiciously. It's nothing. You will know about it later. Anyway, today is a day worth celebrating. Let's get together. Roger smiled mysteriously. Time continued to pass, and in the blink of an eye it was another 3 months. This day, Roger received a secret letter. After handing over the Impel Down matter to Shaki, Roger left Impel Down and came to the place agreed on in the letter. An isolated island in Grand Line. The figure in a green coat stands alone on the cliff. The afterglow of the setting sun lengthened the man's figure. At some point, when the sun sinks completely below the sea level, night falls. There is a breeze blowing on the cliff. The man in the green trench coat turned around. Tutor. Revolutionary long bowed in salute, revealing the swaddled baby in his arms. Crackling. The bonfire burned brightly. Roger and the dragon sat by the fire. He stretched out a finger to tease the little baby in his arms. Do you have a name? Roger asked without raising his head, and at the same time he asked knowingly. As a time traveler, Roger knows the identity of the child brought by the revolutionary Long. There was a small celebration for his birth 3 months ago, which made Garp and others confused. Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy, Long replied, with a gentle smile on his lips. That's right, Luffy, what a good name. Roger smiled. It's not what a qualified father should do, Long. Yes, that's what the instructor taught me. Long nodded humbly in agreement. So, where is the mother of this child? Now is the time when we need a mother. Roger asked. In addition to caring, I am also curious. After all, before he traveled through time, the mystery of the protagonist Straw Hat's mother had not yet been revealed. His mother. Listening to Roger's inquiry, a dark look appeared on Long's face, but he hesitated to speak. Forget it, don't talk about the unhappy things if you don't want to. Roger waved his hand. Please give me flowers. Although I was a little curious, I didn't want to expose the dragon's scars at this time. So, does that boy Garp know that he has a grandson? Roger asked. I don't know yet, I just contacted your mentor. Long shook his head. Actually, I asked my tutor to come here today because I want him to help take care of this child. In addition, I also asked my dad to inform my tutor. After a long silence, 0. Roger didn't refuse. Of course I won't refuse. The child of destiny went to Impel Down to study. This kind of thing is of course excellent. A heart-to-heart talk all night long. Early the next morning, after the dragon finally bid farewell to Luffy, he turned into a gust of wind and flew away. Roger, who was carrying a several-month-old baby, couldn't move around either. When even returns Impel Down. When Roger returned to the 5.5th floor underground, a sensation ensued. Roger, younger brother, Dia and Miss Witch both narrowed their eyes in a dangerous arc. Looking at little Luffy in Roger's arms. The two matrons thought this was Roger's illegitimate child. Don't wait for the two eldest sisters to get mad. This is not my illegitimate son, this is the dragon's son Luffy. Roger quickly explained and clarified. Well, alas alas. Chapter 271 Little Boy Luffy. 5 elders. He deserves to die. Advertise here. This boy is the son of a dragon. Roger clarified. The words fell. The questioning looks on the faces of Dia and Miss Witch suddenly stopped. The next second. Alas alas. Dragon. Son of dragon. Did Xiaolong actually get married and have children? The exclamations of Tia and Miss Witch startled the sleeping people in other rooms. Orvia, Toki, Robin and Hiyori all rubbed their sleepy eyes and walked out of the room. Master Roger. Sir 007 is back. Dad. Dad is back. The 4 beauties, too big and too small, suddenly all had their eyes lit up and immediately stepped forward to greet her. Wait until you see little Luffy in Roger's arms. Orvia and Toki suddenly had the same idea as Dia and Miss Witch before. They just thought this was Roger's illegitimate child outside, and of course they wouldn't say anything about it. Hey, Daddy, is this our love? Robin and Hiyori were full of surprises. Yes, that's wrong too. Roger shook his head, immediately explained the situation again. Loda. Could it be that revolutionary Long? Is that revolutionary Long actually the son of Vice Admiral Garp? And he also lived in Impel Down for a period of time. This is the first time that this happened to me. No. Orvia was immediately shocked. She and Tianyu arrived at the time when Impel was down. Long had already left and wandered alone. They only learned about the relationship between Long and Roger today for the first time. Yes, that boy Long is what we have grown up watching. He is a very thoughtful person. Miss Witch nodded in approval. It's a pity that the dragon didn't become like little Garp in the end. Tia sighed. As a former marine legend, she naturally prefers marine. Of course she wouldn't have a problem with what Long was doing now. Because she knew that what Long was doing now was what he thought was right. At the same time, it is also something that Roger thinks is right. In this case, it is impeccable. Not to mention anything else, really, that boy Long didn't even notify us of such a big thing as getting married and having children. Did he take us elders to heart? Miss Tia pursed her lips. There is nothing we can do about it. After all, Long is currently engaged in a secret business and is not suitable for making a big show of it. Anyway, let's celebrate the arrival of little Luffy. Miss Witch smiled. Oh, all the beautiful girls, big and small, responded in unison. The next day, Impel Down 5.5 floors are decorated with lights and decorations. Celebrating the arrival of little Luffy. The atmosphere is so lively. The most excited among them are naturally the half-grown children. In addition to Robin and Hiyori, there are also Domino and Sati-chan. The 4 little beauties are particularly enthusiastic about their little brother Luffy. Because I just arrived, Tia and others didn't have time to prepare clothes for little Luffy. The result was that Robin and Hiyori's old baby clothes were reused. Coupled with the costumes of Robin and others, the man Luffy has been transformed into the little tomboy Luffy. Holy Land, Mariajoy, Pangyafang Meeting Hall, there seems to be some changes over there at Impel Down. Venus 5 Elders Nasuhiro looks gloomy. I've heard that too, it's said that it's that damn Roger who got the son. Jupiter 5 Elders Pit gritted his teeth. He really deserves to die. Calculating his age, he should be 99 this year. He is still capable at this age. Saturn 5 Elders shook their heads. It's not necessarily his biological child, maybe he picked it up somewhere. Anyway, even if he is alive, can he still outlive us? Mars 5 elders mark Cosima Dao. Rational. Really. Impel Down him and we will rule the world. A week later. A dog-headed warship anchors at Impel Down. PFF ha 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 ha. Congratulations indeed, Teacher Roger. Marine legend Vice Admiral Garp laughed and congratulated. Chapter 272 Garp. What? Luffy is my grandson. Advertise here. Impel Down 5.5 floors underground. PFF ha 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 ha. Congratulations indeed, teacher. Marine Vice Admiral Garp's loud laughter echoed across the floors. Uncle Garp, bring the senbei. Robin and Hiyori both stepped forward and looked at Garp with a smile. PFF ha ha ha, it's all there. Garp grabbed a handful of senbei from his pocket without hesitation and distributed it to all the children. Finally, his eyes fell on little Luffy who was being held by Robin. Is this the new member of our Impel Down family? The future will be bright and promising. Garp stretched out a finger to tease little Luffy. Little Luffy is not afraid of strangers at all. Two arms waved to grab Garp's fingers. It seems like this kid is really close to you, little Garp. Tia walked out of the back room, smiled and spoke. This is a matter of course. Miss Witch nodded gently, not surprised by this. PFF ha ha ha, listening to the compliments of the two mistresses, Poo-Poo suddenly scratched his head in embarrassment. Won't you hug me with your own hands? Roger walked out slowly and asked with raised eyebrows. Oh, is that okay? Garp suddenly looked surprised. No matter what it is, you are one of the most qualified people in the world to hold him. Roger said. Hear the words. The look of emotion on Garp's face suddenly became even more intense. I thought that the teacher really valued me the most. He carefully took little Luffy from Robin. Little Luffy didn't mind scratching his beard. By the way, teacher, don't you know this child's name yet? Garp suddenly asked. Xiaohe and Sengoku didn't tell you. Roger asked. Before Garp, Vice Admiral Crane and Admiral Sengoku have already been here once. No, they just asked me to come over and say congratulations or something. Garp shook his head. Well, this kid's name is Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy. Roger said casually. That's right, Luffy, what a good name. Wait a moment. Garp finally reacted belatedly. In an instant, a pair of eyes suddenly widened to the limit. There was extreme shock and disbelief on his face. Monkey D, are you kidding, teacher? Even if I am your most valued disciple, it would not be very good for your son to bear my surname, teacher. I'd better say, teacher, you have any special ideas? Garp asked seriously. This time it was Roger's turn to be stunned. Who told you that Luffy is my son? Roger asked rhetorically. Is not it? Garp touched his head blankly. Of course not. Dia, Miss Witch and others said in unison, all of them couldn't help but laugh at Garp's expression. Then whose son is this boy? Garp sniffed. The son of the dragon. Roger shook his head dumbfounded. Hear the words. Garp was frozen in place, motionless. What? Garp's voice suddenly rose an octave higher. Dragon, the son of the dragon. Luffy is the son of the dragon. Guaranteed replacement if fake. Tia and Miss Witch 810 nodded in unison. Ah, alas. In that case, does it mean that Luffy is my grandson? Garp finally reacted. Huge surprise and accident suddenly invaded his whole body. At this moment, everything is connected. He finally knew. Sengoku, Xiaohe and others looked at him strangely. And the congratulations they said were not asking him to Impel Down to congratulate the teacher. It was their congratulations to themselves for their grandson. PFF ha 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 ha. Luffy is my grandson. Luffy, I am the grandpa. After coming back to his senses, Garp lifted Luffy high above his head and spun around happily. What greeted him was little Luffy peeing in front of him. Chapter 273 Impel Down Director's 100th Birthday Banquet. Advertise here. Time passes bit by bit. There is another little floor sweeper in Impel Down. Follow Roger all day long, patrolling Impel Down. Impel Down archives managers who know about the past 100 years ago can't help but be amazed. They all said that they saw in Luffy the temperament of the new overlord of Impel Down in the future. Because 100 years ago, Roger had been patrolling everywhere since he was 0 years old. Another year has passed. The time comes to 1504. Impel Down is decorated with lights and decorations everywhere. Even the prisoners' cells were decorated with festive red lanterns. In addition to celebrating the arrival of the new year. It's because this year is a particularly important year. Last year was the birth of Destiny's Child, Straw Hat. This year marks the 100th birthday of the legendary director of Impel Down. Although Roger has already said that it can be casual and there is no need to make any arrangements. However, the people under his command were disobedient. Not just the Impel Down boys. Even naval headquarters followed suit. He said that he absolutely must hold it, and not only do he have to hold it, but he also wants to have the most luxurious birthday in history. For Roger's 100th birthday party, Marine senior executives are working hard. On the eve of your birthday, complete all tasks in advance. Even Vice Admiral Porcelino and Vice Admiral Kuzan, who have always been lazy, are on the rise. Return to naval headquarters just in time for your birthday. Early the next morning, dozens of warships at naval headquarters are ready to sail. Sengoku, you are still dilly-dallying, I won't wait for you if you dawdle any further. Marine legend Vice Admiral Garp wore a bright red suit and shouted happily. It's coming, it'll be ready soon. In the marshal's office, Sengoku, who was promoted to Marine Marshal, quickly handled the work at hand. Then his eyes turned to the new Admiral Akainu Sakazuki in the office. Sakazuki, I'm sorry, your Admiral promotion speech will have to be postponed for a few days. Also, please keep an eye on the naval headquarters while we are away. Marshal Sengoku said apologetically. It doesn't matter, I know it. Admiral Akainu nodded in agreement. There was no expression on his resolute face. But, I saw warships leaving the port one after another. Those comrades who were familiar to him at the same time were all dressed gorgeously and went to the banquet talking and laughing. Even Admiral Akainu had a hint of loneliness on his face unconsciously. At the same time, naval headquarters, recruit training ground. Brothers, tell me, what is going on today? Our naval headquarters is rarely so lively. Almost all the senior executives are back. For those who didn't know, First thought Marine was going to war with the Whitebeard pirates. By the way, I saw earlier that Vice Admiral Garp and Marshal Sengoku were all wearing beaming outfits. There are also Suru Vice Admiral and Gion Vice Admiral who are also wearing formal dresses. Suru Vice Admiral is obviously quite old, but he is still as beautiful as ever. The same goes for Zephyr Instructor. He has been cheerful these days, without a straight face, and has even become much kinder during training. Alas, it would be great if we could also stand out in the recruiting company. Yes, you can join in the fun just like Hina-chan and Smoker. This year's recruits gathered in 2s and 3s, discussing today's big event. Do you want to know what the important day is today? A recruit suddenly smiled mysteriously and attracted everyone's attention. Do you know where the officers are going? Tell me, tell me. Everyone urged. I also heard what my father said when he was drunk. Marshal Sengoku and the others are going to Impel Down today to celebrate the 100th birthday of the legendary director of Impel Down. How Li How? Recruit, who knows a little bit about the inside story, said mysteriously. Nani, Impel Down to boast. Impel Down's legendary director. How legendary can it be? To have all the top management of Marine take action at the same time, this is too embarrassing. The recruits were all shocked. There is no doubt that that person is the legend of the sea who has been active since the real old era. Marshal Kong before Marshal Sengoku, and the 3 marshals before him, are all his close friends, as well as are practicing Marine 6 styles also. Wow. Chapter 274 Whitebeard, Big Mom, and the Revolutionary Army celebrate together. Advertise here. Deep Sea Prison, Impel Down. In the broad impression of the world. This is a hellish place. Once inside Vice Admiral there is no hope. This is true, Impel Down is a hell for sinners. But occasionally something good happens, such as today. Impel Down was decorated with lanterns and festoons, and the whole city celebrated the centenary birthday of the old director. The prisoners who had to accept various punishments on weekdays also received a day of pardon today. There is even an extra piece of meat in the ration. If you can say a few nice words, you can get more rewards. At this moment, the 5.5th floor of Impel Down is ready to welcome guests. The first person to arrive was Kong, the former Marine Marshal and current World Government Commander-in-Chief. Shao Kong is here. By the way, I haven't had time to congratulate you on your promotion to Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. Roger looked at the tall old man striding over with a smile. Brother Roger, please stop teasing me. It's all a helpless move. I already wanted to retire. Kong smiled bitterly and shook his head. Okay, let's not talk about that. It has been so many years. When I first met you, you were still a little kid. Roger smiled and waved his hand. Yeah, it's really nostalgic, Grandpa Carl, the old marshal. Just when Roger and Kong were talking about their past. Marshal Mr. Sengoku, Naval Headquarters, here. Also Vice Admiral Garp, Vice Admiral Crane, Chief Instructor Mr. Zephyr. Kuzan Vice Admiral, Porsalino Vice Admiral, Dion Vice Admiral. Impel Down, Warden Hanyabal and others shouted loudly. PFF ha 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 ha, congratulations. CDEF. Teacher Roger, we are here. Everyone is here. This is Teacher Roger's 100th birthday, how can we be absent? Still far away, the chatter and laughter of Marine senior executives could be heard. With the arrival of Marine senior executives, Roger's 100th birthday party officially started. Gudong. Gudong Gudong. Banquet room corner. The young recruit Smoker and Hina stood uneasily, swallowing nervously. It was as if he was frightened by this unprecedented luxurious banquet lineup. Although Gion had already vaccinated them before coming here. Told them about the legendary status of the old director Impel Down. But, the impact of actually seeing it with one's own eyes is completely incomparable to the rumors. The grand birthday banquet is still going on. At the same time. Not just Impel Down. All over the sea, feasts are taking place. New World, Sphinx. This is the hometown of the great pirate Whitebeard Edward Newgate. Today, the Sphinx is decorated with lights and colorful lights everywhere, looking like a festival. Hoo la 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 la, kids, cheers. Whitebeard laughed and raised his glass. Oh, all members of the Whitebeard pirates cheered in unison. Daddy, can you tell me now what a day worth celebrating today is? Phoenix Marco, the captain of the first team, asked curiously. Today is Dad's birthday, Whitebeard whispered. 10,000 kingdoms, Toto land. Well. Big Mom Charlotte Linlin laughed happily. Mom is in a really good mood today. Yes, although my mother is very happy every year on this day, but this year she is especially happy. I wonder whose birthday Mom is celebrating. Whatever, Mom is in a good mood and we are relaxed too. Everyone, get ready to cut the cake. The ministers of the Big Mom Pirates were all talking about it. Happy 100th birthday, Roger. Charlotte Linlin clasped her hands together and congratulated silently. The island of White Earth, Valdigo. A revolutionary army base in the wind and sand. Mr. Long, what day is it today? This banquet should not be to celebrate the achievements of the revolution some time ago, right? Ginny, the commander of the Revolutionary Army's Eastern Army, asked with a smile. Today is a special day, it is the centenary birthday of our revolutionary mentor. Revolutionary Long Dao, ahem, that mysterious mentor. Is the mentor already 100 years old? Mr. Long, when will you let us meet that legendary mentor? Ginny was amazed. There will definitely be a chance.